Welcome to Armchair Expert. I'm Dax Shepard, and I'm joined by Lily Padman.
Hello.
Today we have Amanda Knox on. She's an exoneree, a journalist, a public speaker, author of the New York Times best-selling memoir, Waiting to Be Heard, and host of the podcast Hard Knocks. She has a limited series coming out on Hulu that's based on her book, Waiting to Be Heard, The Twisted Tale of Amanda Knox on Hulu now.
Which we've both watched, and it is really good.
Yes. I mean, this is one of the craziest stories you could ever hear. And even if you think you know the story, there's so much more that isn't in any of the docs that I've seen, isn't it? You know,
exactly.
There's a ton here. I really, really enjoyed meeting her and talking to her.
Me too.
I think when we saw the doc in 16, we were like, God, we would just kill to talk to her.
Yes. Well, that's pun not intended.
Pun not intended. Also, for anyone who loves Best Friend Aaron Weekly, as I do.
As we all do.
And many people have been clamoring, which delights me, for a show with the two of us, building on Race to whatever that was, 270. We're back at it, and it starts tomorrow. It's called Mom's Car. And Aaron and I drive around Los Angeles and we deliver food with a delivery service.
Yes.
And I have an account and we go pick up food and we meet strangers and we drop it off. And then we also have guests in the back seat, among which Lily Padman.
That's right.
Great episode. A great trick was played. It's so fun.
It's really fun. It is a really fun thing to do.
As I've been telling people, if you miss driving around in the car with your friends in high school, that's what this show is.
Yeah, totally.
And everyone that gets to come on it is like, oh my God, I feel like I was in high school driving around my mom's car.
Super fun.
So check that out. That's out tomorrow. It's on YouTube and it's everywhere you listen to podcasts.
Go do it.
Please enjoy Amanda Knox.
He's an armchair expert. He's an armchair expert. He's an armchair expert.
Oh, don't even worry about that.
Oh,
you can set it
okay.
anywhere you want.
All right,
you
cool.
can light that on fire.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks so much. I have books for you both. Oh my
Thank
God.
you. You would think we were highly literate by looking at this
Yeah,
I like that
environment.
they're personalized.
Me too. I
meet
hope
our
it
own
says something about my
identities.
looks. Let's see.
Well, no.
Oh, no.
I haven't met you yet, so I can't, say anything really.
Did you say anything about Monica's looks?
No.
You can
Should
tell
I-
from the
should I?
picture.
No, in person, I read much different. So, yeah, you should wait.
Yeah.
You should wait till we have some time
Yeah, maybe I can do a little epilogue to
Now,
this.
here's an interesting part of our
Thank
low
you.
self-esteem.
Sure.
Would you agree that you think you look better in real life than in pictures?
Definitely,
Yeah, same. And I don't know. That seems incongruous with our low self-esteem.
No, I think it's in keeping. Like, I
Is
look
it?
at pictures and I'm like, this is disgusting. I
yeah.
hate this.
Yeah,
And then
100%.
in real life, I'm like, it's
Get by.
fine. It's fine.
How do you feel about yourself in pictures?
What is my relationship to me and pictures? Good question.
Yeah.
I feel like anyone
That
can
felt
look
calculated, but it was very organic.
No, I mean, I've had lots and lots of pictures taken of me,
Yeah.
and
So many kinds.
You're very well documented.
I'm well documented in the worst of
Yeah.
situations. Worst psychological filter between me and the rest of the world.
People don't look their best when they're panicked.
Well,
People
but also
don't look
they're
their best
projecting.
when their life is being taken, like when there's literally an accusation between them and the rest of humanity, for
Exactly.
sure.
Yeah.
And I was just actually texting my friend before you got here about how, like, it feels like my entire adult life, everyone's been trying to find something wrong with me. And there's always this sense that there's some sort of fault
Defective.
that everyone, something is not right, but no one can agree on what that is.
Yeah.
Right.
They're just we just know there's something wrong with her, so let's all talk about
Let's
it.
figure
Yeah.
it out together.
Let's figure it out. That's the puzzle. What's
Can
wrong
we
with
come
Amanda
to
Knox?
consensus?
I think the reason people do that is because they're like, well, there has to be. There has to be something wrong with her, because if there's not something wrong with her, then all of us are
Then-
susceptible.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Which the truth is, unfortunately, all of us are just
we're
susceptible.
incentivized to make you others so that
Yeah.
we're not as panicked that something like this could happen to us.
Right. And I think the other thing is that, and something I genuinely empathize with, is also the feeling of, oh no, if she is actually like not at fault for any of it, then what does that say about all of us that we have spent the last, nearly 20 years trying to like demonize this person? What does that mean?
Yeah.
Why would we do that? We wouldn't do that. Like there must be something. Well, let's find the fault in her. And if only we could crack that nut, then everything makes sense.
Now this is this sounds like a pat on the back to myself, but it's just the truth. I never, ever, ever once thought that.
Okay.
From the second I heard that, I was like, that seems insane.
I will say you are sort of a rare bird in that you actually do the opposite thing. Like whatever everyone's doing, he's going to do the opposite thing. So in this case,
I'm a
really
little bit
good.
like that too, by the way.
I'm at least going to like explore that really passionately because I am very suspicious of kind of groupthink. Yes. In common.
And I think that was one of the things where, early on, like the juvenile part of me was like, oh, everyone is wearing like a Gucci belt. I'm going to wear, a Mexican sweater, like I'm just going to like be different just by default. And that ended up being translated into, oh, she's a weirdo. Right. So what, like she's a weirdo in this way.
Yeah.
What else could she be a weirdo about? That kind of thing.
Hopefully lots of stuff, but.
Exactly. Well, also something I like to point out to people at the time is this is like 2007, 2008, 2009. I don't know if everyone recalls, but the Manic Pixie Dream Girl was a true fact.
What's the Manic Pixie Dream Girl?
Wait, you don't know the Manic Pixie Dream Girl?
We were going to have this episode about you, but fuck that. Let's do a Pixie Dream Girl. Yeah, what's that?
It's
a character. So during the 2000s, there was this idea. The Zooey Deschanel is a good example of this. Like the beautiful oddball.
Okay, the quirky cute.
Yes, the quirky cute girl who enters into the guy's life and completely transforms him through her love, but also her quirkiness and her willingness to eat pancakes for every meal of the day. Like,
yes. It became a trope.
It was a trope, but it was like, it was the cute, sexy girl trope when I was 20 years old.
Yes.
I was sort of leaning into that.
Of course.
When I was 20.
Yeah, we're watching Natalie Portman on Garden State. We're like, we have to be her.
Yes.
That's how you get people. Yes. So lean in.
Lean into that.
I was drawn to it, but it's really funny if you like look at it now and you deconstruct it. It's like, you still got to be smoking hot, but you got to be smoking hot and then also be into my weird dude shit, cartoons. And it's just a laboratory.
It is
for male fantasy still.
It is.
Yeah, like I want a supermodel who will fart.
Yeah, right.
It won't smell.
100%. Right. It won't smell. It smell like candy. I like to say that basically, if you want to like boil down my story, it's Natalie Portman in Garden State is suddenly put into a Law and Order episode.
Yeah.
Right. There's a genre mix up.
Yeah.
We got mixed genres here.
Yes. And the mixed genre leads to an explosion of male fantasy because then it becomes, it's the sexy, quirky girl plus murder. Yeah. And now.
Was that happening? Like all these men were obsessed with you?
I thought you were hot.
Oh, this is.
I did.
Well, you are beautiful.
Dax.
You are beautiful.
I mean, no one's like, normally that wouldn't be appropriate to say, but I think in this situation.
It's still not, but it's okay.
It was definitely a facet to the whole story.
Sure. I didn't pick up on this. I didn't know this. This is interesting. I didn't know that men were like obsessed with this.
Oh, it was pornographic in nature. The number of people who were writing me their sexual fantasies about me.
Because they had bought into this notion that you were 100%. A femme fatale.
Yes, the femme fatale, the girl who orchestrates murder orgies. Like it was
oh my God.
Pornographic in nature.
I got to be very clear. Yes. I didn't think you did it. I just thought you were hot. So I didn't think there'd be any blood orgies.
Everyone agrees on.
I didn't think there was blood orgies in the future. I think I went to, here's exactly what I went to, Amanda. I was like, I, at 19, went with my girlfriend to Europe for a month after she graduated. What a fucking time. It was the best.
Yes.
Among the best month of my life. And I remember meeting a bunch of people and everyone's so friendly and you like fast forward to like best friendship. And so I just went like, oh yeah, I would love to bump into her when I was 20 in Italy. This seems like exactly why you go.
Exactly. It is exactly why you go. Because study abroad, and to this day, I am in full promotion of studying abroad because everyone should know that the world is bigger than their own backyard.
Yeah.
Everyone should have the opportunity to just be a new person in a new place, meeting other people who are new to a new
Totally.
place, and just feel a little bit like there is something about that being sort of removed from your network that allows you to just be a little more open-minded and a little more just open to people and experiences.
Yeah.
And again, like that, even that aspect of it, they were like, oh, see, Amanda was studying abroad. She was open to new experiences like murder.
Right.
You know,
She's trying to.
And I'm just like, no, I was thinking more like siestas, which we don't do here in the United States, you know, like that kind of thing. So
There's also in this part is like, maybe on the surface it's a little gross, but I say fuck that. And if you're young, you should do this. Like there's also, everyone there is young and they're writing the story of their life and it's very romantic and they are
So
already on a
romantic.
path which has taken them out of the traditional. So it's like everyone has this inflated sense of romance and novelness. And it's very enjoyable.
like,
and
who am I here also?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's a really kind of, if anyone can do it, it should be done.
I was rewatching the documentary last night and I was like, God, I mean, I know this is like the least worst part, but like she didn't even get to experience this thing she was so excited to do and all these kids are doing, and it is such a beautiful, I studied abroad twice. It was incredible. Like she was robbed of that. It's just
I know that part
horrible
feels
from the
petty, but
beginning.
I was mad too.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, she got this boyfriend a week ago. She's been there for what, 3 weeks? Is that how long you were
I was there for 5 weeks.
Okay, 5 weeks. Okay.
Yeah, but I was planning on doing like a whole year there, and it just didn't happen. But I'm glad like you're mentioning this because it's like, well, you know, this is a story where 2 young women went to go study abroad in this beautiful place, and only one of them survived. And like one of the things that I'm really proud about for the show that I've made that's coming out next week. Oh my God. Is that like it's not just limited to a, you know, courtroom drama. It's not just like here's a crime and here's a courtroom drama. It's very much like starts and begins with the personal. It's like, here's this personal journey that someone is going to abroad. And we actually have you guys seen it? Did you guys get screeners?
Yeah.
Okay. So you saw how like the beginning is Amanda is going to Italy again. All these years later, I'm on this journey to go back to Italy to confront my prosecutor. And I'm on like this very personal journey, but to appreciate why I'm going on that journey and what the stakes are, you then have to go back in time and like relive this experience with me on my way back to Italy again.
Was that 2022 that you
2022,
went?
yeah.
2022. So in service of the folks who don't know your story, everyone will know your name, everyone will know, but I do think there's some details we should go through so everyone's kind of like
100%
got the full story. And I think I know you're in a very tricky position, which is you're reclaiming your life. You've already done that. And yet we need to know this part. But I will say the thing that fascinates me most is actually coming home, actually. I think that's a much more fascinating.
Re-entry.
That's the now what question, which is like, oh, you've been through a super traumatic thing that now has defined your life in a really fundamental way.
Yeah.
Now what?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're from Seattle. Mom and dad got divorced at 10?
Well, no, when I was very young. So my mom was pregnant with my sister. So I was just over a year old, and my mom was pregnant with my sister when my dad fell in love with another woman.
Down the street
and left.
Left to down the street?
Yeah. Well, but like that was actually purposeful so that he would still be a very present part of my life. And, you know, like my parents were young. Like my mom was 25 when she had me. So like they're young, they're kids, they're dumb. You know, like I think both of them have had the grace especially in the years since to be like, we were dumb kids. Like we were not ready, you know, like all of this. So
it was 1987.
This is 1987. You know, it's not, and I didn't grow up with that sense of like conflict between them. It was more like I just grew up with very aware that I had like 2 houses that I lived in, and they were both culturally very different.
Oh, interesting.
Because my dad is like Mr. All-American, hamburgers and hot dogs. And my mom, who's born in Germany, is my European background.
You have a German vibe.
Do I? I
You
mean,
do. No, not because of
the dirndl
not
that I'm
because of
literally wearing.
the pulley. That's one of the few
Yeah, your
words I know.
sweater,
I'm
right?
sure. Yeah. Bibel kostet ein pulley. Yeah, you have a Germanness to you, which I'm a big fan. Anyone who's
What
listening
can you
to the show.
define what that means?
I
Cool?
think this runs the risk. But
Well,
here
you
we
said
go.
it.
I
Yeah.
said it. I think Germans can have an initial harshness that you realize quite quickly is not their spirit.
Right. They might have a resting bitch spirit.
Yes, and they also have an attention to detail and a meticulousness. They have a lot of things that, like, if you're observing them, they're like, oh, they're intense.
Yeah.
But then it's such mixed messages because they're also so warm. They're like the
Yeah.
funnest people to talk to when you're traveling.
Totally.
Yeah, so I think you have that, and that might be a part of what people are trying to isolate.
Maybe.
I don't know if that's interesting though, because I feel like
Is that not your stereotype of Germans?
no, that is,
Yeah.
and I think that would be right, but that's based on what we know about you from the media.
Yeah.
Like as soon as I walked in and we were like saying hi, I was like, oh my God, Amanda's like so warm and sweet and nice. And yes, I was not necessarily expecting that. I think I was expecting like maybe a little more guarded. Well, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, even a few years ago, you would have experienced me in a very different way because, I'm thinking back to when I first met Monica, who is executive producer on the show as well.
yeah.
So when I first met her, it was way back in 2017. So this was right after the Netflix documentary came out. So there was this like initial sort of reopening, re-examining of the case from a more like, I think, intellectual and also empathetic perspective.
Mm-hmm.
People were sort of recognizing that, oh, maybe this was a media freaking nightmare. Like what was going on? So there was this initial openness to maybe I'm a victim of this circumstance.
Right.
And so I was invited to give my like first ever public talk in the immediate wake of this. And if you had met me then, I would have had a very different vibe.
Yeah.
Because I had up to that point spent my entire adult life with people calling me a monster and not listening to anything I said. And no matter what I said, it was thrown back in my face and twisted and distorted. And so I was very timid, which is not how I was growing up. Like I was still at very like, I have more of the spirit that I have today, which is like open and silly, whatever. You're like, we're having a good time.
It was palpable that you were being hunted.
Yes.
Yeah.
That felt, I could feel that from the initial things I saw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved the doc so much. Right when we saw it, we were like, boy, we would love to talk to you. I learned so much, of course. I didn't know everything that had gone on. And that media circus. I mean, there's the guy in the doc.
Oh, my God.
The guy in the
Nick
doc
Pisa?
is, oh my God.
My family likes to call him Nick Piece of Shit.
Yeah. That's
His
accurate.
smugness about being a piece of shit is, I think, what is most offensive. If I had a sense he was oblivious to his shittiness, but there's a smugness to his
And
shittiness.
he has no remorse whatsoever.
Yeah, and to his defense, which I'm always doing, I'm sort of always defending the people who attacked me, but like to his defense, like he was getting rewarded constantly
Oh,
for
yeah.
that kind of like psychopathic
course.
behavior.
Yes.
And so in a way, I understand how like that feedback loop of like, here you are getting paid, here you are getting, headlines, getting rewarded for this behavior.
Yes.
He's going to feel entitled to do that thing.
Yeah. My issue with him probably triggered something more personal, which is flying under the bullshit guise of journalistic integrity. Like that as a journalist, I must uncover this. And it's like, you're not uncovering the truth at all.
Right.
You're perpetuating a lie. It really, of course, reminded me of when we were battling the paparazzi over our children, which is like, no, I'm sorry. They're not news.
No,
I
they're
am.
not.
I get it. I'm news. Got it.
I mean, we can even dissect
Yeah.
that though, because you going to the grocery store isn't fucking news.
Well, I agree.
And-
I agree. But you could make the argument, the fourth estate is supposed to check power. You could argue I have power because I have status. Okay, it's all
fine.
thin to me. I don't really think it's news if I go to the grocery store, but at least I am someone in society that maybe has an outsized bit of power. My
Your
children
kids?
don't.
No.
No, they're little pieces of
Exactly.
shit like every other little kid.
Yeah,
and there's nothing.
and they should be allowed to be little pieces of
Yeah.
shit.
Yes,
like, oh my
yes.
God.
I was like, oh, these are the fucking dicks I argued with on TV, the paparazzi I debated, which is like, I'm not arguing you don't have a
You
First
have
Amendment
like a
right.
sit down debate.
Oh, yeah, because we
Oh, I
we
wanna
ultimately
read
got
that.
this thing agreed to by all the publishers to not show kids anymore unless you have the consent of the parent, which is great. But in the process of that, somehow we agreed to go argue with the paparazzi on TV, which we did, my wife and I.
I didn't know that you were behind all of that. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
So my argument to him was like, I get it, bro. You have a First Amendment right.
Yeah.
You also have a First Amendment right to shit on your kitchen table. Do you do it? No, you don't do it because you have some morals and some ethics and some, you know, like there's
Some
a bunch of
common
stuff
sense,
that you legally can do
Decency.
that you of course wouldn't do because
I
you're
love
not
that.
a pile of shit.
I love that.
So at any rate, I think, I was well primed to dislike that character at the top
Oh my
quite
God.
a bit.
It was-
I think I hated him more than the prosecutor.
A lot of people did, actually.
Yeah.
A lot of people came away feeling really surprised that like the villain was the media and was this guy who happened to represent the perfect crystallization of like what was going wrong. That I don't think a lot of people knew if they weren't in a position like yourself.
Well,
Yes.
people still don't know. They don't know when they're getting fed stuff via the media that it's sensationalized or that they're a business or like it still happens.
Well,
Yeah.
also that you have to confront, and again, I'm in no judgment of anyone that enjoys seeing pictures of little kids. I love to see pictures of little kids. So I'm not
That's
blaming the
clip.
consumer.
That's like
Oh, yeah. In swimwear, preferably. No, but of course I want to see, I want to see people's kids just like anyone else.
Of
So
course.
I don't blame the consumer, but the problem is I enjoy it. And then as the consumer, if you find out, it's a little grosser than I wanted. I guess I didn't realize these little kids are getting followed all day long into school. I don't love that. I'm almost better off just agreeing with the journalist so then I don't have to take on the by proxy guilt of it. It's like
Right.
I'm incentivized to think, well, it is First Amendment. We live in a country,
Right.
I'm empathetic to why someone would,
yeah, they're
it would serve
justifying.
them to just, agree with that person's point of view so that they could not feel guilty about
Consume.
enjoying it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sympathetic to that. Anyways, back to mom and dad. So culturally, so dad is very American, mom's German.
Yep.
You were a great student.
Great student.
Very German of you.
Yeah, I know, right? Great. Basically, just like do well at everything. So be good at sports, be good at music, be good at school.
What was your sport?
I played soccer, of course.
Oh.
Foosball.
Oh my gosh.
And yeah, so I just like, I feel like there was a time in prison where I thought that maybe I just like, again, the things that you do to try to like rationalize what's happening to you when it's so fucking surreal.
Yeah.
I would tell myself things like, oh, I guess like I was supposed to have some bad things happen to me when I was young, but like fate forgot me. And now all of the bad things are happening all at once. Like I had
Yeah.
nothing bad ever happen to me growing up. Nothing.
Yeah.
Like, my parents divorced, but who cares? I get 2 Christmases and 2 Thanksgivings.
Right.
And so great. I have 2 houses. Like awesome.
Yes.
And they're all within 2 blocks of each other. I can walk between the
Yeah.
2 of them. When I'm get tired over here, I'll go over there. Like
Yeah.
it's great. And so nothing bad had ever happened to me. I did well in school. I did what I was told. I was the good kid. In fact, like I'm the oldest of 3 sisters.
Yes.
And like the joke now is like, oh, wow. Of all of us who got sent to prison, Amanda,
Right.
the goody
Yes.
2 shoes,
Yes.
Yes, this is me getting sent to prison.
It is.
It really
And everyone
is.
be like, I thought it was
Do you
going
have
to be Neil.
sisters too?
No, I have a younger brother, but I'm very like type A. I followed all the rules. I did
Yep.
all the things.
Got
and
great
like,
grades.
Yep.
Yeah, and
Murdered
yeah,
someone.
people would
Got away with it. Didn't
Yeah.
even have to.
sex orgies, all the normal things.
All the things.
Yeah.
Good. My goal was that this would be the first time you go through this whole thing and you're laughing a lot. I hoped that this could be.
yeah.
Because it's always so
You've had to
it's so
learn how to laugh
serious.
at
Well,
some of it.
actually, yes. I mean, tragedy plus time equals comedy.
Yeah.
I actually do stand up now. So
Oh,
when
you
I,
do?
Yeah. So I like make jokes about this whole
Oh.
ordeal.
I bet that has been healing.
it has been healing
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's nice to like talk about the absurdity of it and to do a stupid fake Italian accent and
Yeah.
be like, she looks very innocent, which makes her more guilty, and just like do like
Yeah.
stupid impressions like that. It's
Yeah.
fun
Yeah.
because it is an absurd situation. Like if you can't laugh about it, then how the hell are you going to survive?
Well, you have it
Yeah.
now. It's yours.
Yeah.
You get to decide how you could bring you continued misery, or you could find a way for it to give you joy. And I think I would have the biggest chip on my shoulder that someone would be telling me, if I were you, how I'm supposed to process this whole thing.
Oh,
That
I get that all
sat
the
in a
time. That's one
prison.
of the finding faults in me thing is like, oh, now she's making jokes about it. That
Yes.
shows that
And
she's a
this-
psychopath who doesn't really care about what happened to her roommate. And it's like,
Yes.
I'm not
Or that
joking
you're
about my
heartless.
roommate. I'm joking about me.
But that was from
Yes.
day one. Well, we're going to go through this.
Okay,
process.
yeah, it's almost irresistible to not go postscript the whole time. But you're on the dean's list at UW. You're a Husky, and then you study. You go abroad, and 5 weeks in, I suppose, you have this new boyfriend. You've spent the night at his house. God, now that I'm saying it to you in person, it's like a whole different level.
Oh, yeah?
Why what?
Because there's such a degree of separation in a documentary and a photograph and all these things. And now I'm sitting with you and I go, oh yeah, you really walked
Yeah.
from your boyfriend's house back to your apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So the plan was, so this was during a holiday weekend, right? So it had just been Halloween. So this is the day after Halloween, which is a big holiday in Italy. It's when everyone goes to their family members. They go and visit, the graves of their ancestors, that kind of thing. It's very much like a solemn but, quiet holiday. So it's a quiet day. But one of my roommates has left the city. The guys who live downstairs from us have all left the city to be with their families.
Oh, wow.
And so like there are a lot of people who have sort of like vacated
Yeah.
so that they could celebrate the holiday with their families. And so the city is very quiet. And Raffaele, my boyfriend, wanted to take me out for a romantic weekend to this nearby town called Gubbio, which is famous for truffles.
Ooh.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Raffaele was like very like romantic Italian guy. Like
And if the show is accurate and the doc is accurate, he is also new to all this, right? He had only kind of had one girlfriend. He's
Yeah.
very sweetly,
very sweet, very nerdy, not your
Yeah.
typical Italian stallion.
yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Like very quiet.
Yes.
But at the same time, like once we were like locked in, he was like, oh, I want to take you on trips and I want to
Yes.
buy a
Yeah.
perfume for you.
Yeah.
So very,
all
it
the
was very,
fantasies
like,
of being in
yes.
love.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
like, he didn't have a Volvo, but like you might as well have been doing that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so
A Vespa.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Vespa.
yeah. I didn't want
know
anyone
the
to think
names
he
of
was
cars.
No, I know.
Vespa.
I didn't want anyone to get confused. He was Swedish.
Well, I
yes.
also was like, I took it as like we're gonna have kids together and have a Volvo.
That's why I corrected
well,
it.
but also,
this
yeah,
is more
he-
meet.
Yeah, like meet. We're in Italy. We're like scooting around.
Ciao,
Yeah,
pronto.
ciao, woo, woo. Exactly. So that was the vibe that we were doing, and that's how I woke up that morning. Was
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go home. I'm gonna take a shower. I'm gonna get dressed in a nice little dress,
Yeah.
and we can go out on our little romantic weekend.
And then you get home and you notice some things are amiss.
Yes, but it's not immediately clear to me that something bad has occurred. That what I notice is that the front door is open, which is odd because no one's home.
Right.
But also the latch on our front door was kind of sketchy. So I was like, oh, maybe someone didn't close it all the way. Who knows?
Also,
Yeah.
people are leaving to go on a trip. Maybe they're like,
Could
they
be
have
a-
luggage.
you know, it
Yeah.
could be a thing. Like
Yeah.
that's what my brain is thinking. Okay, well, I guess
It's plausible.
it's plausible.
Yeah.
Then I go into my bathroom and there's like a spot of blood in the sink and I'm like, But then of course I think, well, it's the bathroom.
Exactly.
We're all girls here.
Exactly.
Blood sometimes happens.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
okay. All right. Get in the shower, get out of the shower, notice another spot of blood on the bath mat. And I go, all right. Well, again,
She really had a heavy
the-
flow.
yeah, who knows?
Or does
Yeah.
like someone cut themselves and there's
Or they
blood.
cut, you know,
that's
like-
what I would.
Yeah.
Yeah,
go
and then
to.
I was thinking maybe someone cut themselves and they left really quick to go get like a bandage or
Exactly.
something. Like
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out what a normal reason for all of these things to be.
Again, context is everything, as it always is. Because if you were in Baltimore for the weekend and these things happen, you'd already gone to Baltimore going, there's a lot of murders,
Sure,
right?
sure.
You're but you're in a fantasy of being.
I'm in a fairy tale.
You're in a fairy tale,
Yeah.
and there's no murders in Italy, right? That's a inner
That's
city.
not what I was
America
expecting.
thing.
Yeah. No, worst case scenarios were not, is someone going to hurt me? It was,
Yeah.
is someone going to steal my passport?
Right.
Like that's what I was worried about.
Yeah, it's just not what you think
Even
when
in
you
your
go over there.
day-to-day life though, like here, anywhere, you live with people and you see a drop of blood in the bathroom and you go, there must have been a murder. Like, then you're actually crazy. Like, I would be. That's
You're
what
like
I
a
would do
paranoid
because I'm
person.
paranoid.
Okay.
Well, let's
I'm
add
very paranoid, and then that's what people are like. Oh my god, like you're crazy.
also the interpersonal. Like if I live with 3 people and I saw blood on the sink, whoever I already didn't like, I'd be like, fucking Mike's a pig, right? Like I might go to straight resentment.
Exactly.
Like fuck you couldn't clean up the
Couldn't even
fucking
clean up your
thing, throw the
cut?
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd already be like mad at the person. Maybe.
100%. Like, imagine that being in your 20s, living with people. Like, you're not gonna think that.
No.
No.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
And as far as I could see, like my house was fine. Nothing was, you know, out of the ordinary. Like
Yeah.
I did have a moment when the front door was open and go, oh no, what did someone come into the house? But then I walk into the house and like our TV's there, our stereo's there, like
Right.
anything of value that's immediately obviously there
Yeah.
is untouched and is exactly as I left it. So then I'm automatically thinking, oh, just someone forgot to lock the door and
Yeah.
it swung open. You know, like that's what's going on in my head.
The big eerie thing,
Ugh.
as it would be, is a shit in the toilet unflushed.
In fact, so there are 2 bathrooms in my house, and this is something that a lot of people don't know is like they get the misinformation and the facts of the case wrong. They hear that there is shit found in the bathroom and they think Amanda took a shower in a bathroom that had blood and shit in it. Like,
Yeah,
what
yeah,
is she
yeah.
doing? And it's
Right.
like, no, that was the different bathroom. And I didn't know, I didn't see that until I went to go dry my hair in
a
the other
different
bathroom.
Okay.
And
I don't
yeah.
even know if I was clear on
they
that.
didn't make that clear on the doc.
Well, in fact, so I think that's one of those things that I think the show is going to show is it's like, okay, but like, what are these contextual details that went overlooked all these years?
But yeah, that's an incredible
Yeah.
detail. Yeah.
So then I finally noticed that after I'm all changed and ready to go. And I'm like, that is weird.
Yeah,
like of
yeah.
all the things that I had seen, that was not something that I expected my roommates to do.
Right.
And I immediately got that like creeped out feeling that somebody was in the house with me.
Yeah.
And so I grabbed my things and left and went
Yeah.
back to my boyfriend's house.
Yeah.
And while I'm doing that, I'm turning over in my head all of these like weird things that I've seen. And I'm like, am I overreacting right now? Like,
Yeah.
is that like, why would someone come into our house and just take a shit and leave? Like,
Yeah.
why?
Yeah.
You
Right.
know, like, am I crazy? Did someone just forget? Like, and they were in a hurry? Like, I don't.
Yeah.
But that doesn't seem like them. So what do I do about this? And I
Yes.
go and I ask Raffaele, and he says you should just call your roommates and ask them. And I'm like,
Yeah.
duh. So I start calling
Yeah.
and calling, and 2 of my roommates don't answer their phone. Maybe they're still sleeping. Who knows? I mean, it's like a day off. Everyone's taking it easy.
Yeah.
How many people lived there?
3.
Okay.
Another thing that a lot of people don't remember is that I
Yeah.
had 2 other roommates.
Yeah,
They just
Right.
happened to be older than us and Italian. I was the youngest. I was 20. Meredith was 21. And then our 2 Italian roommates were in their late 20s.
So there's 4 of you in there.
There are 4 of us in there.
Right.
And 2, Meredith and Laura, don't answer the phone. Philomena finally does. And I tell her what I've seen. And she says, okay, that sounds weird. Go back to the house, you know, snoop around a little more, see if you can see anything, and then I'll meet you there.
Mm.
So she actually spent the night at her boyfriend's house as well. She wasn't home. So I go back with Raffaele. We poke around a little more and we go into Filomena's room, which we hadn't. Her door was closed. Like, why would I go into her room?
Yeah.
So we finally open her door and look in her room, and her room's been ransacked.
Oh.
The window is
I didn't know
broken.
this either.
See? Yes.
Yeah,
So-
this is wild. Okay.
Exactly. Like the number of things that like people think they know this case, but then they
Yeah,
don't,
they don't.
know. So we open the door and her room is a disaster. There's a broken window. Her stuff is thrown everywhere. But again, I'm just like, why? Her laptop is right there. Her camera's right there.
Right.
Why did this person
Yeah.
start rifling through her clothes when her expensive stuff is
Yes.
there?
Yeah.
So I asked Raffaele to call the police because I don't even know how to call the police in Italy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He calls for me. I'm calling my roommates. I'm calling my mom to tell them what's going on.
So at this point, you're like, there's been a break-in.
There's been a
Yeah,
break-in.
yeah,
We're
yeah.
calling the police. There's been a break-in.
Yeah.
We're still sort of trying to assess the situation, but there's been a break-in for sure.
Mhm.
So Raffaele calls the police and we wait for the police to arrive. And when they arrive, they act like they have no idea what we're fucking talking about. And that's because in Italy, there are two different kinds of police. So Raffaele had called the carabinieri, who are like the state police. They're the one, and the reason he did that is because his sister is carabinieri. So he's just more familiar with them as an institution. The police that arrived at the house were from the local postal police. And they were from the tech crimes unit. And they had no idea what we were talking about. We were like, there's a break-in, there's a break-in. And they're like, what are you talking about? We're like, what do you mean, what are we talking about? Like, we called you. We just called you and said there was a break-in. And they're like, we didn't get any call from you. So already there's this like weird, like,
it starts off.
You know, it starts off in this weird conflictual way. And they're like, well, we don't know anything about a break-in. We're here because we found these two phones.
They are there coincidentally, in a sense.
Whoa.
It's not a coincidence because it is related.
Right, it is related. But coincidentally, they're like, have you seen Filomena Romanelli? Because these phones belong to her, one of my roommates. And
The one that's inbound.
The one that's inbound, who I just spoke to on the phone. And I say, well, they can't be her phones because I just talked to her on the phone.
This is
It's so confusing. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm
and
here-
the language. That's what this show does a great job of, that the doc didn't, is the absolute Tower of Babel, which is the experience of you don't know what anyone's saying. They don't know what you're saying. And you're and if ever there was a moment where communication was imperative,
Yes.
it's this, and it just starts completely wrong.
Yeah, from the very beginning, the miscommunication that led to people suspecting me because they didn't interpret. Like, here's a great example. So the police finally get there. We finally convince them to go into the house. Filomena arrives. She's freaking out. Her room is like a mess. She's sorting through it to see what's stolen and what's not. And in the meantime, I try to explain to the police officers that I've looked in all the other rooms. Laura's room is like completely untouched. It is like perfectly, like her bed is like military. Like, so whoever broke into our house was rifling through Filomena's room, but not Laura's room, didn't go into my room. And then when I tried to open Meredith's door, it was locked. And I was like, that's weird. And I tried to explain to the police, her room is locked. Can we like break down the door? And they're like, well, we're not going to break a door. We don't have authorization to just break doors in people's houses. And they're like trying to tell me, well, is it normal for her to lock her door? And I'm like, well, once or twice she locked the door, but like they interpret that as she always locks her door. And then Filomena overhears this and she's like, she never locks her door. So again, like the miscommunication. And I'm like, no, like
every now and then
she would lock the door to her room.
Como se dice?
Como se dice? Yeah, exactly. Like that. And so then Filomena is immediately demanding we break down this door. We break down this door. Her boyfriend breaks down the door and discovers the crime scene, which we had not seen up to that point. And, you know, gratefully, in a way, I did not see into the room because like I was like, everyone's yelling in Italian and I'm the youngest and I just want all of the adults in the room to figure this out and tell me what to do. Everyone's yelling in Italian. I can't understand what half of people are saying anyway. So I'm just sort of going to back away. And they break down the door. And then, of course, everyone starts screaming and they push us out of the house. And I'm picking up words here and there. Blood, foot, closet. And I'm thinking, I'm trying to piece it together. And I initially think, is there like a dismembered foot in the room? Like, what is going on? And Raffaele then is able to talk to the other people and get an idea of what's going on. There's a body. It's under a blanket. They don't know who it is, but they think it's Meredith. And I just go into shock.
Of course.
And I spend, the next several days in and out of the police office. I was ultimately questioned for like 53 hours over 5 days.
And those scenes are so intense.
Yeah. Those are the scenes in the show that I was most concerned about getting right.
Yes. I heard you did 2 like 10-hour shoot days, and those were the days that you were quite vocal.
Yes, but not in the sense that I didn't like trust everyone involved, but like that was the one that I really needed to get perfect because there's so many misconceptions about what interrogations look like. Like everyone has a fantasy version of it in their mind and no one really knows what it looks like. And one of the things that I'm a big advocate for now in like criminal justice reform world is really trying to push back on this distinction between an interview and interrogation. Are you guys familiar with
No.
this
No, tell us.
concept?
No.
Okay, so, and this is like vital. So, this is true both here in the United States and in Italy. It's kind of a universal thing where police say, well, there's one thing which is called an interview, and there's another thing which is called an interrogation. And the reason why it's very important to distinguish is because there are different rights involved. If you're in an interrogation, you are in custody and you are being accused, and you have the right to an attorney.
Mm-hmm.
If you are just being interviewed, we're just talking. We're asking questions,
Yeah.
and you have no right to an attorney, even if they start asking questions that suggest that you are guilty. And so a thing that's like an ongoing battle for me in my own case, but also just in general in the criminal justice world, is like pointing out that this distinction between an interview and interrogation is just a loophole for police to deny you your rights.
It's very
Yes.
arbitrary.
It's
yes.
so arbitrary.
Yeah.
It's so subjective.
Yeah.
And again, like at no point was I ever informed I was a suspect.
Right.
At no point was I ever given the opportunity to have an attorney present.
Or even to know to say like, I'm not answering. Like you wouldn't know if you're just like, I'm just here to answer questions.
Right.
To
And
help.
they'll say things like, well, you were always free to leave. And it's like, it didn't feel like that when you had the door closed on me and a cop
Exactly.
between me and the door.
Right.
And like
Yeah.
you're yelling at me and telling me I have to answer your questions or I'm not cooperating with the investigation. Like that doesn't feel like I'm free to go.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
So
Okay, now here's where I'm going to project a bit.
yes,
so
please.
what I also worry about when I fear this situation happening to me is I am really bad with authority. Like I
You
don't
get attitude.
I do.
Mm,
I don't like being subjugated, right? I don't like being talked down to. I don't like being, accused like you're outsmarting me. There's a lot. Every time I'm watching a doc about someone wrongly accused, I'm like, I'd fuck myself over because I could only take so much and I would be very confrontational. It would look like I was guilty.
well, here's the thing though. Whatever you do looks like you're guilty.
Yeah.
Right. Like I was not like you in the sense that
Yes.
I, at this point, was still sort of getting over the shock of my roommate being murdered.
Yeah.
And I'm in a foreign country with no one that I've met my boyfriend a week before. Like
Yeah.
all of these people are new. I'm very much sort of like, okay.
Yeah.
And so
Mhm.
my automatic reaction is to lean on the police and to trust the police.
Yeah.
And so I'm actually looking to the police for reassurance, for guidance,
Comfort.
for comfort.
Yes.
And increasingly, I'm discovering that they don't want to comfort me or give me guidance. In fact, they are becoming increasingly hostile towards me, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you could break down in the 53 hours, how deep into that do you think before you realized,
They think
they
it's
think I
me.
did it.
I didn't realize that until the final interrogation. So again, 5 days
Yeah.
of being questioned. I knew that they I noticed that they were being a little hostile towards me. And again, it also depended upon the cop. Because
Right.
that's a really important thing that we show in the show is that there are lots of cops in this room with me. And some of them are really nice. Some of them are like trying to comfort me, but the way that they're comforting me is by saying, we know you've gone through something terrible. We know you've witnessed something terrible. We're just trying to help you. You need to help us so we can help you. So there's this like part of them is like coaxing and other ones are like being really punitive and yelling at me.
Yeah.
And so like I'm like the way I'm interpreting this, again, because like my impulse is to always like try to find a good reason for why anything happens, is as they're getting more and more hostile with me, like I'm interpreting that as they're under a lot of stress because they're trying to like make sure that there isn't a serial killer on the loose. And like I think they have their work cut out for them because like this murder makes no fucking sense.
Yeah.
Yes. You're their best lead.
Yes.
And I don't know anything.
Yeah, exactly. Like
So you're
I'm their best
fucked.
lead. Yeah.
Yes.
Like if you're looking to me for
Yeah.
answers, and again, talk about horrible situations. It's not like Meredith was, drunkenly stumbling down a dark alleyway somewhere
Right.
and got attacked. Like she got walked home by her friends after having a nice dinner with them and watching a movie and was getting ready for bed when she was attacked in her own freaking bedroom, in her own freaking house.
That's the other thing, like because the story is not this story, but like the story is about you. No one knows about her. Like no one.
No one knows about the person who really did it to her too.
No one knows about the other quote characters in the story that are very important, and especially the victim, because it was eclipsed by the media portraying you in this way. Like you became the story, and there's a dead woman, you know, who like we don't know anything about, and all these people don't even care to know.
Sure, yeah, exactly. And then in the scenario that I find myself in, I'm like, okay, here's a girl that I met 5 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know her very well.
Of course.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
But I know that she didn't have anyone who disliked her. Like she was a very nice girl. Like I'm trying to imagine if someone was targeting our house. Like it felt like someone was targeting her.
Yeah.
And so I was like, why would someone attack her? And I'm trying to think of like who could do something like this. And I it's just beyond me.
Yeah.
And so in those early days, I'm trying to navigate this, and I'm feeling like the police are getting more and more impatient with me.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking they think I must know, like the thing that they told me is that like any little detail that you might remember, like maybe there was an interaction between her and a boy at a bar that like would, you know, maybe it isn't meaningful to you, but it could be everything to this investigation.
Right.
So like I'm sitting here trying to like rack my brain. Okay, in the last 5 weeks, was there any
creepy guy,
you know, like with any little thing? And I even point them to like a creepy guy that we met at a bar, but of course has nothing to do with it, and I don't know what the fuck's going on, you know.
Yeah.
And then we get finally into that interrogation, and there is a huge confrontation that I was not expecting, because I wasn't even expecting to be interrogated. I wasn't even called into the police station. My boyfriend was. And I was just afraid to be at his apartment alone.
Yeah.
Understandably.
Yes.
So I followed him to the police station, and I thought it was going to be like a half an hour at most. So I like brought a book to read. I was sitting in the, you know, waiting room, but then a police officer sort of cozies over to me and starts chatting. And then that chatting turns into, have you given more thought to maybe any weird interactions? And I'm like, okay, I'm answering these same questions over and over again, but no, I still don't know who could have done this. And then another cop comes over and is like, wait, are you talking about the case? And he's like, yeah, I'm just asking a few questions. They're like, well, then we have to write it down. So they sort of bring me casually into this office that's not an interrogation room. It's just an office. There's like filing cabinets and books, and you know, it's a normal room where I've been questioned. Everyone else has been questioned. And then they say, you've been lying to us. And immediately I'm just like, oh God.
Yeah.
And they're like, we know about the marijuana.
Yeah. So this is really important. And God, again, this is a part that scares me so much, is like in the effort to cover up something benign, often people seem like they're dishonest, right? And it's like everyone involved was smoking weed, and everyone involved was like, hey, don't mention the weed.
Wait, what? Okay, so again, I don't know about this either.
All
this
these
wasn't
little
in the
facts,
doc.
yeah.
So what happened?
This is actually unknown to me, but the boys who lived downstairs from us, they were growing marijuana in their bathtub.
Okay.
And so they had a significant amount of marijuana in their possession.
Yeah.
Sure.
And because Meredith was dating one of them, and because we all lived in the same house, the police were like, there's no fucking way that Amanda's telling the truth when she says, oh no, we don't smoke marijuana.
But her
Why'd they even
roommate
ask?
specifically said like, hey, when you talk to the police, just don't tell them about the marijuana. Which again, I'd be like, yeah, obviously.
Yeah,
Well, we don't
obviously.
need that problem.
Why would I
What's
just
that?
bring forth
Incriminate myself for no
incriminating
reason.
information?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm here on a student visa. I don't want to be kicked out of the
Exactly.
country for possession of marijuana. Like,
yes.
so
Okay.
I'm confronted with an actual lie.
Right.
But now they
Right.
say, what else are you lying about?
Yeah.
And so the dissent.
Yeah.
And
And you're like,
There-
nothing.
Nothing. I've told you everything and I'm sorry. And now I'm trying to like ingratiate myself with them again to be like, no, I swear.
I know I lied about that.
I did lie about that and I'm so sorry. But like,
yeah.
and I'm immediately on this sort of like wobbly foot.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, the things that you have been telling us are inconsistent. And it's like, well, are they inconsistent? I don't, is it because my language isn't good enough? Like I'm trying to talk to you in Italian.
Yeah.
And this is I'm not fluent in this language.
Why wouldn't they bring in, if something like this, why wouldn't they bring in an English speaking?
Well, I had no right to a translator because I wasn't being interrogated, remember? I'm just answering questions. It's just a chat.
You don't need a translator for it.
But I mean, that just
gentle
goes to
chat.
show that they really, really did not really care about finding the person because they would want to have an English speaking.
To their defense, in their
Here we go.
defense,
Okay,
again,
great.
in their defense, I believe, and you know, everyone that I've worked on with in this show also believes, and I want to give credit where credit's due. Like, I did not make this show by myself, right?
Yeah.
Like, the creator and showrunner is KJ Steinberg, and she did years of research to uncover things about this case that I didn't even know.
Wow.
This is like her big, beautiful project that I really truly believe she is like she devoted herself, gave her full heart to this project, researched the shit out of it, and discovered that like the police had already suspected me from day one.
This is where I want to enter in. Now, as I was watching the doc years ago, there's a lot of different things on trial here. The one that stuck out most to me, and maybe you'll disagree, is just this kind of deep misogyny.
Oh, yeah.
That is cultural, and it's so powerful. Like the most key sentence to me is that the lead prosecutor says, well, the killer covered her with a sheet. Only a woman would do that. And it's like, stop. What the fuck are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Based on what? What study are you quoting right now where they did a double blind? I mean, that's insane. And then, okay, so now because he's so committed to that, once we find out there's more people involved, then it's like, well, but she still has to be there to put the sheet on. Because again, this guy would not put a sheet. It's like there were numerous things along the way. It was like men do this and women do this and that. And now.
So therefore a woman must be involved.
Confirmation bias, like by the clearest example. It's like, I believe this and I will find things that support this.
Yeah. Well, the grossest version of this was like to go back to how Meredith was erased from this whole ordeal. Was like who Meredith was as a person, like an actual person, is not the person that was represented in court. Like we talk about like character assassination of me. Like that was obvious, right? Like I was called Luciferina in the courtroom. Like it was like I was an literal she-devil in the courtroom. That's who was on trial. But even Meredith, who is, you know, this girl from Leeds, England, who was a tour guide, who loved to dance to music, and who was just starting to hook up with this guy downstairs, and it was having, being a young girl studying abroad, having fun.
Yeah.
She was turned into this uptight, judgmental bitch in the courtroom.
Oh, because they needed to give you motive.
Well, exactly. So the motive was, here are the two epitomes of women: the pure,
the Madonna and the
Madonna
whore.
and the whore.
It's so basic.
Well,
it's so like
it's so basic. It's so biblical, but also it's a witch trial as well. So additionally, like the other layer of misogyny for me is like we have had now for hundreds of years this notion of witches, and what do witches do? They're very sexual and they kill children, and like this crazy cartoonish idea of a witch. And you were that like a crazy deranged sex orgy that became the premise.
Yeah.
And that you were hypersexual.
Yeah.
Well, they had to explain how a woman could be guilty of a man's crime, right?
Yeah.
Like Meredith
So
was
true.
raped and murdered, right? She was raped and stabbed to death. She was found, someone had ripped her clothing off.
Yeah.
Like there was DNA in her vagina. Like this was a man's crime.
Yes.
And they're like, but we've arrested a woman. And so how do we make a woman guilty of this man's crime? We make her the orchestrator of the rape.
Yeah.
And we make her, and also, inconveniently, the guy whose DNA is all over the crime scene, he has no relationship to, he played basketball with the guys who live downstairs. So they could sort of say maybe he encountered Amanda. And so maybe they don't have evidence, but maybe Amanda and him had a secret love affair. But in the meantime, Raffaele, who is my actual boyfriend, has never seen this man in his entire life.
Right.
And so the way that they explain this is that the crime was all my idea. And I was in a secret love triangle between these two. And so I decide to put my two men to the test and see what they're willing to do to pleasure me.
Yes.
So I have, this is the story. I have them rape my roommate for me and then hold her down so that I can stab her to death. That's the story.
Right.
Like, if it didn't end so fucking horribly, it's laughable.
It is laughable. Thank you.
It is. Like, this is so deeply absurd.
But if you drill super deep into it, I think it's quite fascinating because, again, under it is all this male insecurity. Like, you're an insatiable sex machine that cannot be satisfied, which is just males' deep fear they will not satisfy a woman.
Yeah.
There's so much gender shit in it. It's bonkers. It's like
It's so, and also just that a sexual woman in general, of any kind, is bad. Like that then makes them
that's
capable.
True. They got that.
Well, sure,
part right.
You're right. You're right. But that's the thing. It's like in the doc when someone was asking you, like, what did he ask you? Something so deranged. Like, have you ever done sexual?
The Chris Cuomo interview that also is in the show. But yeah, there are some really bad
bizarre
interviews.
questions that are coming your way about like your sexual history and are you like into sexual deviance and stuff. Like directly to your face, they are asking you these questions. And it's like, what if the answer is yes? That has nothing to do with murder.
Yeah, I made friends with a bunch of dominatrixes after this because I was like, how does it feel to have your lifestyle demonized in law? And I was really surprised by their answer because they were like, well, we're really surprised by that because actually, professional dominatrixes, at least here in LA, this is where I met them, have a really good relationship with the police because the police use them as helpers to understand if there is an actual domestic violence situation or if it's a kink scenario.
Oh, interesting.
And because in the kink world, there are certain ways that you hurt people, but you don't do any sort of
it's pre-negotiated
harm. Yeah. Well, and there are rules. They will never hit you in the kidneys, for example.
Exactly.
So if somebody shows up with a wife who's been kicked in the kidneys and says, "Oh, we were just doing, sexy stuff," a dominatrix is going to go, that's not what we do.
Right.
Yeah, that's
this is a sign that it's domestic violence. And so they actually have a good working relationship. But then I doubt that they had that good working relationship in Perugia, freaking Italy.
Yeah,
exactly.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
Yeah, so you're getting into just the misogyny, but then you're also getting into, I think you're veering into a very Catholic country as well.
Yeah, I was not prepared for that.
Yes, and I think even, here, famously and accurately, I think people will say we'll have a female president before we have an atheist president. We'll have a black president before we have an atheist president. That's still very true.
Oh, 100%.
And that's here. And there it's amplified because it's much more Catholic.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was a huge cross of Jesus above the judge in my courtroom.
Wow.
Yes. So if you're godless, which you weren't shy about saying, at least in the show.
Yes.
Then you're evil.
Oh yeah, you're evil.
I have no moral grounds.
Yes.
What is
guiding you?
Yeah, nobody's
Why
guiding me.
wouldn't you kill? Because you won't have to pay.
Yeah, you because you don't rape and murder people unless you don't believe in God.
That's right.
And people who believe in God don't rape and murder people.
Never.
Of course not.
Of course
No,
not.
and they certainly don't molest people.
Right.
Definitely not. Definitely not in the Catholic Church, especially.
Yeah, so man, a lot of my trigger. This was
Yeah, I'm sorry.
hand
You're doing
built
okay.
from all my things that I
Wait, are
hate.
you
Yeah, you
kidding
should be
me?
sorry. I want you to comfort me for your story.
Well, I don't know though, because I think that one thing that actually is really nice is when people find my story relatable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because like for so long,
Mm-hmm.
like I was just an other.
Yeah.
I felt ostracized and like nobody understood me and no one could understand me because they had not gone through this experience I had went through. But like one of the things that I push back on is it's like, well, bad shit has happened to all of us. And like we've been lied to and we've been hurt. And
Yeah.
that's what happened to me. It just looked like this.
Yes, and also there's all these different shapes for the same experience in some way. So that's a huge trigger for me because like I had stepdads who showed up, and all of a sudden there was a whole new game plan and a whole new set of rules, and none of them made sense, and they were very arbitrary.
Sounds like a new cellmate.
Yes.
Because you are trapped, right?
Yeah.
You're trapped.
Yes.
And now the social dynamics of the thing that you're trapped inside are completely changed. And the strongest person in the room is going to impose a new reality on you. That's like getting a new cellmate.
Yes. So yeah, all of it was just very. I just could relate, even though I can't, to just this notion of like, fuck, the people that have all the control have an entirely different reality than I have.
Yes.
And they're in charge. And
Right.
for I don't know for how much longer. you
And
know?
that's like such an important part of what I was trying to convey in this show is it's like, it's not that. And like, I was trying to go back to like defending the police in that moment, right? Like, I think the police truly believed that I must know something that I'm not telling them.
Mhm.
And they're all tired and they are under a lot of pressure. And they're like, if we can just get this girl to tell us what she knows, we can all go fucking home.
This will all go away
Yeah.
for me.
Yes.
In your case, for 53 hours. So imagine last week's work week plus 2 more days. That entire time you were there, someone was asking you the same question over and over and over again. And at some point, you're heavily incentivized. You just want them to go away. You want them to stop asking.
Exactly.
You want to give them an
You're
answer that'll
tired.
make them stop asking you.
But especially when they introduce this idea of blackout.
Oh, what's
Right?
that?
So this is a really common interrogation technique. So once they've sort of like broken you down and made you feel bad and made you feel like you're, what they'll say to you is they basically give you an out. They say, well, maybe you aren't telling us the truth, not because you don't want to tell us the truth, but because you don't remember
Oh,
what the
God,
truth
yeah.
is.
Mhm.
I'm so susceptible to this.
I know. You thought you could be convinced you were a man. Remember we had a guest ask.
Wait, what is this?
Yeah,
Tell
we had-
me about this.
This is
What-
incredible. We had this guest on.
It was Jonathan Haidt, I think.
So he
The
was like,
righteous mind,
I
yeah.
couldn't make you believe you were a woman. I'm like, yeah, so of course not. I have a penis between my legs. I can feel it. You could never convince me. And Monica's like, yeah, you could.
I was like, I
this
mean,
thing out
if
of
you
it.
showed me some
Yeah, you said if you
test,
showed me DNA, if I showed you DNA.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yes, I am. Like, I'm not so arrogant to think I know everything. So I
You
Right.
would
should
be
try
susceptible.
it. It's fun.
I would be susceptible
Yeah,
to the
I'm jealous.
situation.
I'm jealous. I'm jealous that like, well, and I think that's kind of the crux is it's like, well, on the one hand, it's great that you are confident in your perception of reality,
Mm-hmm.
but so was my prosecutor.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And he was so confident in his version of perception of reality that he imposed it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well, he had more leverage to do so.
He did.
But he also was so closed off, he couldn't even begin to see that maybe we have it wrong here.
Right.
But you made a good point, and I appreciate you doing it. And I kind of try to do the same thing all the time too, which is like you have to acknowledge they're weirdly in a similar situation as you are, because they have all of Italy saying, "Figure this out right now. This
Now.
is scaring the shit out of us, and you guys have got to figure this out." If anyone else that was murdered in any other place, you'd have people that knew her for 30 years you could talk to. You could
Yeah.
really construct something. But man, they have nothing.
Yeah. They're used to doing like, tracking down drug dealers. They're not used to like
right.
homicidal maniacs in their midst.
Yes, completely random, completely not a family member, not a lover, all those things.
Because they
that
had
are
ruled out the
go-tos.
boyfriend, is my assumption.
Well, he was out of town
Okay.
for the weekend.
Okay,
So
got
he
it.
had an ironclad alibi.
Got it.
So very early on. And also, maybe I should clarify that one of the reasons why they thought that someone like me was involved is because from the beginning, my prosecutor believed that the break-in was staged.
He thought you couldn't get in that window from
He
the
said
height.
he thought that like a burglar would have broken in any other way besides the way that he broke in.
Mhm.
He could not be convinced that a burglar would break in to that window of all the windows that he could possibly break into.
Sure.
Therefore,
You're a killer. Yeah.
someone who has access to the house is involved in the crime and is trying to cover it up.
Right.
Mhm.
So this is a conspiracy.
Yeah.
And a conspiracy suggests maybe multiple attackers.
Ugh.
We also know that the only people who have access to this apartment are girls. And we know that a man at least was involved in this crime. So a man is involved in this crime, and one of the girls who lives there is involved in
It's
this
puppet
crime.
mastering this whole thing.
Yeah, it's just a terrible reverse engineering.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
like it's logical
Mm-hmm.
if you assume
It's impossible to break in
Exactly.
that manner.
Yeah.
So the alternative is someone did break into our house and they did break in through that
Exactly.
window, and I don't fucking care what you say. Like that's the one that they chose.
Yeah.
Like
It's not the
Yeah.
most logical entrance.
Also, what's logical about breaking in? Like it's all.
Well, I see his point. Like that window was kind of high up. You know, there were easier windows, but again, I see his point. But you can't build everything on top of that.
right. He couldn't distinguish between what is a fact and what is an opinion.
right.
Right? Like he was looking at a number of facts and then he drew a conclusion, which was his opinion from those facts.
Mhm.
And like to this day, when I talk to him, because I continue to talk to him to this day, like that is a sticking point where he's just like, but this is a fact. No burglar would ever break in through that window.
Right.
And I'm like, well, that's not a fact. That's an opinion.
Exactly.
Yes.
A fact is
Exactly.
that here's a window and here are other windows and this one's broken and other ones are not broken. Those are
Yes.
facts.
Yes.
Your
Yes.
interpretation of those facts is not a fact.
Yeah.
It's an
Right.
opinion.
Again,
Right.
the fact that only a woman would cover
Exactly.
the body. It's like
Is that
is
a
not
fact?
a
That's
fact.
not a fact.
No,
That's
right,
an
right,
opinion.
right,
but you're
right.
treating it as a fact because you are so confident in your perception of reality that you
Yeah.
are willing to impose it.
Mhm.
And that's the danger.
So, okay, I'm still a little confused on this part. So,
Yes.
at some point, they hand you a piece of paper and it's a long confession in Italian.
Yeah. So what they do is once they've completely broken me down and I don't know what's true or not anymore, and they've invited me to remember the truth, AKA imagine an alternative memory.
Yes.
I try to imagine an alternative memory.
Are you open to that
Oh my
notion? Because you're just so at this point exhausted and
I'm very scared.
yeah.
And they finally bring a translator in.
Okay.
So this is in the middle of the night, by the way. It's the middle of the night. I'm exhausted. I haven't been able to sleep anyway these 5 days because my friend has been freaking murdered.
Exactly.
And I'm scared and I don't know what's going on. And so I'm exhausted. It's the middle of the night. And they start telling me that what I think is true is wrong. And I'm like, I have actual memories of being at my boyfriend's house. And they're like, well, the mind, will do crazy things. Doesn't that seem like other nights that you were at your boyfriend's house? Maybe your mind is trying to cover up the fact that you've witnessed something terrible.
I mean, this is my opinion. This isn't a fact, but I don't think people who murder do it in like they don't want to murder and then they do. I mean, obviously for self-defense and things like that,
Sure.
that's a different case. But like
the whole
it's
blackout
not like
notion.
I blacked out. I didn't want to murder anyone, but I guess I blacked out and murdered. Like that doesn't happen.
That's like Paul Bloom saying like there's no hidden memories. Remember he just said
he
that?
thinks
Like he's
there's
like
no
that's
repressed
not
memories.
really
That's not real.
it's not
Yeah,
a
well,
thing.
and I think that, and one of the reasons why, I mean, I don't know what's really going on in our human minds because there's so much that we don't know about our own
Yes.
minds.
Sure.
That's right.
Maybe there is such a thing as repressed memories. All I know is that the evidence has shown that the mere idea of a repressed memory has been used by law enforcement and psychologists. And it is the reason why the whole satanic panic happened.
Exactly.
Yes.
Because
yes,
they're like, you
yes.
don't remember being a part of a satanic ritual, but you have depression today and it must derive from something.
Yeah, you're in a
and-
trance.
And you're in a trance, like, so
Yes.
maybe you were, molested as part of like a
Exactly.
satanic sex crime thing.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
you're like, maybe, because like,
'Cause
here's the
maybe.
thing. Because maybe, like, here's the thing. This is called cognitive opening. So it happens, a cognitive opening is when something happens in your life that leads you to be more receptive to new ideas and new ideology. And typically that happens when something tragic and unexpected occurs. And so here I am in a panic because all of these cops are super mad at me. They lie to me and they tell me they have physical proof that I was there when the crime occurred. I'm like, how is that even physically possible? And then they're saying to me, well, because you are a victim of this whole thing. You just witnessed it and you don't remember. But here's the thing. We're going to have to punish you if you don't remember because people are going to think that you're just trying to help the murderer. And so we really need you to like remember who the, what happened now.
Right.
Because this is the moment.
Yeah.
And they find this text message on my phone from the night of the murder where I'm texting back and forth with my boss, who I waitressed every once in a while at this local pub, and they miscommunication. They misread my text message. He had texted me and said, hey, it's a slow day. You don't have to come in tonight. So I texted back, certo, ci vediamo più tardi, buona serata. Certainly, see you later, have a good night.
Great.
They read see you later as
See you tonight?
See you tonight. And so they say, here's proof that you're lying to us. Here's proof that you met with this Patrick person instead of being out or being with your boyfriend. And so here's proof that you're either lying or you don't remember what really happened. What did Patrick do?
And the translator didn't say like, hey, that's colloquially, that's like an American thing.
Well, we didn't have a translator yet.
no, by then-
They didn't have a translator
Oh.
yet. The translator came later, and her big contribution to this whole thing was to tell me a story about how she was once in a car crash, and she was just driving along in her car and then crashed and woke up in the hospital, and she blacked out.
What proof of blacking out and forgetting?
Now, here's a very troubling aspect of interrogations. Two things I can't stand. One is that they can actually legally say, we have your DNA.
Yeah, the lying.
Oh,
They can just
will-
straight lie and say, we have your DNA.
Yeah.
So what's crazy and no one's like, I don't think realistic about is like, you could be presented with a situation that you still reject, but you could go, if they have my DNA, I'm getting the electric chair.
Yeah,
So
I'm being
somehow they
framed.
have my
Yeah.
DNA. I don't know how. They can't have it, but they have it. And I know that the result is electric chair. Or now I lie to get something less. Like that's a decision you have to make.
Yes.
And so
some
you're
people
picking
cave.
a lesser
course.
bad option.
Or some people cave and think, well, I'm so tired of this interrogation. I know the DNA is wrong, so I'll just
Yes.
tell them what they want to hear so
Right,
they
for
can leave me
now.
alone, and
Yes.
then I'll let the evidence prove my innocence.
Right.
But
That's not how it works.
that's not how it
And
works.
is that, do you think, what happened in your moment?
I was led to believe that I was insane. So there are psychologists identify two different kinds of false confessions. So one is coerced complacent, right? Like you are just become complacent. You're like, fine, I'll just tell them and like
Yeah.
it'll all be over. And then the evidence will sort it all out. That's one kind.
Yeah.
Then there's internalized false confessions. So I was led to believe that I witnessed this crime
Yeah.
and that I blacked it out. And it temporarily, right? Like I'm in
Yeah.
this heat of the moment and I'm like overwhelmed and I try to start imagining and then I'm imagining things.
Yeah.
And I don't actually imagine the murder because I still don't know anything about it, but
Yeah.
I imagine being in my house. I imagine being with my boss, Patrick.
Yeah.
And it's enough for them to type up their own little narrative in
Yeah.
Italian, put a sheet of paper in front of me and say, sign it. And with that, I doomed myself.
Yeah. Oh, this is the nightmariest part of the nightmare.
I don't think any of this would have happened if,
Really?
that.
Yeah.
Are you disassociated from it? Like when you're
I
talking about it right
disassociated
now?
in the moment. Like in the moment, that was the
Yeah.
time when I most like had this like out of body experience was when they were yelling at me and like hitting me. Like I completely disassociated.
Yeah.
And it was like I was watching myself in the room and being
Yeah.
like, what is happening? That's the one time I've had that. Today,
Yeah. Like when you're talking about it, are you there again, or has enough time passed where it like I just want to know where you sit.
I mean, it's both, right? Like on the one hand, it does feel like it's like a whole other life ago.
Yeah, and a different
Because,
person.
like a different person. I was a 20-year-old kid
Yeah.
who had never had anything bad happen to them.
Yeah.
And I look back and feel so much like pain and sadness for this kid who was going through this.
Yes.
And so in that way, I sort of disassociate. But then I remember what it felt to be hit.
Yeah.
Like I remember their voices.
Yeah.
Like I will never forget being like finally like taken, after they're done, after they get what they want, suddenly they're very nice to me and they're like, oh, do you need something to eat? And they take me, the cop who hit me took me down the stairwell. In the stairwell was like, I'm sorry I had to hit you. I really just needed to help you remember the truth.
Right.
As if like memories are marbles that you just like hit,
Yeah.
you know,
An old
the
TV
bottle.
set. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Now, do you have, and I hate asking this because my journey with getting over being molested was people said, oh, it's not your fault. And I was like, yeah, but I remember, I know, I don't like this situation, but I want this thing. And I did ignore my instincts, right? I had to forgive myself ultimately.
Sure.
So when I just put myself in your shoes, I think I would have tortured myself about that night a lot. I think
About
I would have
signing
shame
it?
about not like I should have been stronger. I should have
Oh, sure.
I should have been more. Do you have any of that?
So I hope you don't mind when I say this. So let me make a comparison.
Yeah.
So my situation would be you get molested, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And then later you get convicted of seducing your molester.
Right.
So that's my
right.
Yeah, exactly.
current scenario
Yes.
is I'm still convicted of having falsely accused an innocent man during my interrogation.
Yeah.
They say I willingly and intentionally, knowingly accused an innocent man during my interview.
This is the slander
Yes.
conviction. Yes.
Oh my
So-
God.
In a very real way, I am blamed for what happened to me in that room.
Right.
To this day.
Right.
I am shamed. I am vilified.
Yeah.
I am 3 of the years that I spent in prison, they deemed rightfully served.
Oh my God.
Because of the
Still,
slander
yes.
conviction.
Yes. This is the ongoing, 18 years later, I'm
Yeah.
still fighting that.
Mm-hmm.
On the one hand, yes, like I lived for years feeling so much guilt and shame and feeling like everything that happened to me in that interrogation room was probably my fault.
Right.
And it wasn't until I met other wrongly convicted people and I talked to like experts in police interrogations that I realized that it wasn't my fault.
Yeah.
Right.
But now I spend my entire adult life trying to convince people of that.
Yeah.
And doing so, not just because it like helps me with the trauma of it,
Yeah.
but also because like there are common sense things that we can do to prevent these things from happening in the future.
Uh-huh.
And like one of them is banning lies during interrogations.
Yes.
I can't believe that is legal. I can
know.
truly not believe it.
It's legal everywhere in the United States.
I know.
There are some states have recognized that minors, anyone 17 and younger, shouldn't be lied to.
That was in the Making the Murder doc. Remember, they got that poor
Yes.
kid, and then he wanted to know if he was still going to the WWE, if he could watch it still. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
Brendan Dassey.
Just,
Yeah.
heartbreaking.
It's so hard.
Okay,
It's
so
all-
you were self-flagellating, or you won't?
I was self-flagellating for a long time.
Yeah.
You think if only I had been stronger, if only I had been smarter, if only I had been more courageous. Like I thought that what happened to me was that I was a coward.
That's my fear. Yes, that's why I asked. That's my fear, because God, no, you weren't.
Oh my God.
I mean, the fact that you, if there's any fucking headline of your story, it's that you're indomitable.
You're so resilient.
You're really indomitable.
Thanks, guys.
No, it is. It
I
is.
hope people are
You're
telling you that
fucking
every day.
indomitable.
You know, it's funny. Like there has been one moment in my whole life of this where I have felt indomitable and unstoppable. And that was when I decided to go and confront my prosecutor.
Yeah, let's get to that. So
Sorry, yeah.
No,
yeah.
I'm
So you
fine.
do
No.
4 years. You're convicted twice. Ultimately, a higher court does throw it out.
Yeah, 4 years in prison, 8 years on trial. I spent the first 4 years in prison and then another 4 years in freedom, but like facing extradition, trying to be a person, but stalked by paparazzi.
I heard you talking about this, and I think this is really profound. You're in that prison for 4 years, the entire time going, I just got to get my old life back. You can see your old life. You're going to go eat sushi when you get home, right? You're going to get your old life back. The irony is, even if that event didn't happen to you, there would never be getting your old life back. I know. Right?
I know.
Even if you were just there as a student, you're 20, you're going to start another chapter. You were never going to get your old life back.
Know. That was a false, it was a false idea that I was living in a state of denial, I think, that like because this thing had sort of taken me out of what felt like my real life.
Yes.
It felt like my real life was going to be there just waiting for me.
Yeah.
Yep. But it never was going to be.
No.
And that's probably a very hard lesson to learn from your perspective, because there's such an obvious explanation of why your life doesn't exist anymore. But also it wouldn't have anyway. So yeah, you return home and now you're 24 and you've had this entire experience and you're known around the world. And the bravery to not get defeated by that moment where you come home and you realize like, oh no, I have nothing basically. I'm back to the drawing board. I'm going to have to start and build an entirely new life. I think that would be very overwhelming.
I did it so well, but I had a very hard time. And this is something that I think was actually both Monica and I as executive producers, and of course KJ,
Lewinsky,
because
for
she,
people who don't
Monica
know.
Lewinsky, who's executive producing the show as well. Like, what was really important for us was to show the aftermath.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you think you know what this story is, but like there is a whole life that you have to figure out and rebuild from below ground.
Yes.
After something as traumatic as this. And you know what it looks like? It's not pretty. I'm still a 24-year-old kid who's in some ways deeply matured and in other ways is completely oblivious and naive.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, you're going to go get a job where everyone there knows you.
Let's
and
get
then
a job and hope that the people who are sending you death threats don't just show up at your job and murder you.
You said you made a lot of mistakes.
We are able to show some of this in the show, but like part of it was me wanting to act like I could have a normal life. Like I would be in hiding. And then I'd be like, but I just want to go to like, my friend's block, like Halloween party. Like I just want to like do a normal thing and be a normal person. And then I'm, followed by paparazzi and, whatever. But like, we don't show all the mistakes that I made in the show. I really pushed for more episodes so we could get really into the mistakes. But if anyone's really curious about some of the really bad mistakes I made, that's what's in my book, Free My Search for Meaning. And I'll give you one example that's in the book, but didn't make it into the show just because we're trying to like, the real purpose of the show is to show me going back to Italy to confront my prosecutor and what were all the things that led up to that. This little detour that I talk about in my book was when so dating is kind of hard when you come out when you're, a sex monster in the eyes of the world. Yeah. And you're like, oh no, where's this going? No,
this just is so sad. Dating's hard enough.
Yes. So then I stumble upon a very, handsome, nice person who tells me that he just got out of jail for a crime he didn't commit.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm immediately predisposed to believe him and to sympathize with him. And because I have spent, years now trying to navigate a world that doesn't seem to feel like there's a place for me, that just wants me to disappear and wouldn't be surprised or upset if I just offed myself. Mm-hmm. Like, here's somebody who could understand me.
Yes.
I'm all in on this person. And then I realize that he was not, in fact, innocent of domestic violence and breaking and entering. And in fact, this person who now is in my home is very, very much like the man who murdered my roommate.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Oh my God.
What do I do?
Yeah.
Because when I tell him to leave, he doesn't leave. I come home, like I think I'm rid of him, and then I come home and he's broken into my house. And the last time I called the police
Yeah, exactly.
for someone breaking into my house,
Yeah.
I was the one who got sent to prison.
Yeah.
What do I do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still on trial. And if word got out that I was shacking up with a criminal,
Oh my
Oh
God.
my God,
yeah.
I know.
it would be over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would vindicate everyone.
Yeah.
So I'm trapped.
Oh man.
And my stepdad has to come and save me again. And I'm like, I can't trust anyone and I can't even trust myself.
Oh,
That's
Amanda.
so unfair.
Also, I want you to take my number because I have a hero complex, and
Okay.
I would love to show up at any point to tell
Okay.
any man
Just-
that they have to get the fuck out of your
I
house.
love that. I will
so
take that number.
Please. This is
Yeah.
going to be a perfect trauma match.
Is sorry, I don't know. Are you dating? Are you
She's married.
Has
Okay.
two little
kids.
Okay, so it
Yeah.
worked out.
Yeah, I'll show you
that
my
makes
baby
me happy.
pics.
Oh,
I'll look for
Yeah.
the swimsuit ones.
Chris Robinson. Chris Robinson, author. She reviewed his book. Then she went.
It's
and
a really
saw-
good meet cute.
Yeah.
I love meet
Yeah,
cute.
I wasn't on Tinder, obviously.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that makes me feel good that you have someone that. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was not a true crime person. He got 2 master's degrees in poetry and was like totally oblivious.
Good.
And then went out of his way to not Google me when he became my friend, and only started sort of grappling with the entire ordeal when we started dating 9 months later, and he started having people Photoshop knives into pictures of him on Facebook.
Oh my
And he was like, oh.
Oh, yeah.
Like he knew there was a thing. Like
Yes.
he knew that I had baggage, but he wasn't like, in his approach to meeting me and falling in love with me, like that wasn't the thing that mediated our human to human interaction.
Yeah.
Right. And in fact, that was what was such a great relief about it for you.
It was a huge
is He was
gift.
hardly interested in that part of you.
Exactly.
And as soon as I heard you say that, I was like, she's going to hate me because I'm going to go right after all this stuff. That's why I preface it by saying, like, I got to go through the
Well,
thing.
this is an interview. I mean,
No,
this
this-
is not
Yeah.
an interrogation, but it is
It's an interview. You have no right. No rights.
Rob's a paralegal. He's not a full attorney yet.
Yeah. Wow. Well.
Okay,
wow.
so you're home, and what comes first? Your mother, and God bless her, she kind of forces you to go to this exoneree conference.
Yes. My mom is noticing that I'm struggling. Also because, again, I'm still on trial and I'm convicted again.
I would be just as fascinated to talk to your mother
Oh,
because actually,
100%.
I weirdly would rather go through this myself than have to watch my child go through this.
Thankfully, she's in therapy and has a great therapist who has been very supportive. And I think she has really worked through a lot. But you're right. Like
Yeah.
the second I gave birth to my daughter and like my mom's in the room and my daughter's screaming because she's just been given birth to.
Yeah, she's in a very loud, big space
Yes. But also a painful experience that she just went
Yeah.
through.
Yeah.
She's in pain
now. Yeah.
and they put her on my chest and I can't take her pain away from her.
Yeah.
And the first thing I say to her, my first words ever as a parent were, I'm sorry. Because I couldn't.
Yeah.
And then I look over at my mom,
Yeah.
and my mom was in the exact same position.
For years.
For years.
Oh my God. I
Yeah.
mean,
the level of powerlessness that
yeah.
you both were experiencing, and I'm sure your father and your stepfather
Yeah.
is so monumental.
And having to be strong for you, like
Yeah.
the what's on your shoulders.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'm here to protect you for your
Yeah.
whole life. That's my commitment to you, and I can't. I'm overwhelmed by this
Yeah.
big machine too.
So Sharon Horgan plays my mom.
Oh,
In the
and
show.
she's one of my favorite actors
great.
from Bad Sisters, which she also wrote, right?
Yes.
She's a
Super, super
gangster.
talented. Amazing.
Mm.
And like, this is a really cool role for her because so many people associate her with being funny. And
Uh-huh.
like this is a very like tense role. Like
Yeah.
she's going through all of those things.
Yeah.
But also, can I just like say that Grace Van Patten is freaking amazing? Do you guys
Oh.
know Grace Van Patten?
So I just started Tell Me Lies, very sexy show.
Yeah.
Extremely sexy show.
Yeah.
And I just recently met her via that. And then I saw she was in this. I was like, oh my God, exciting.
Yeah. No, I can't wait for you to see her in this because
Yeah.
she is phenomenal.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Like she had to do so much to like do this role.
And she's got to also, as an actor, learn Italian because
Yes.
you don't
Oh,
speak
yeah.
Italian very well at the beginning. But by the end of the trial, you give your closing statement in
Yeah.
Italian.
Yeah, thank you for like appreciating that nuance because
Yeah.
again, like one of the things about this show is that like that miscommunication that's happening. And she not only has to become fluent in Italian in order to portray this role, she has to portray quasi-fluency. She
Right.
has to portray a progression of fluency
Yeah.
over time.
Okay, so mom, though, encourages you to go to this, I guess it's the Innocent Conference? Or
The Innocence Network Conference.
Okay.
So for those who don't know, and this is a really good thing to know, is there's an Innocence Project, which is the first ever project based in New York.
Yep.
And now there are projects that are separate entities
Mm-hmm.
all throughout the United States, now around the world. There wasn't at the time, but now there's an Italy Innocence Project. So there are all these disparate entities that all have to do their own fundraising and they have their own cases, but they all are a part of something called the Innocence Network.
Okay.
So this network is what allows for everyone to stay connected and communicating and like
Right.
sharing research. And once a year, they host a conference where all of these people from all over the world, but primarily here in the United States, come together in one space to again, like have panel discussions where they say, oh, this is how we communicated with the prosecutor in the case, or this is,
Right.
a cold case unit. Here's how you talk to them. Like all of like the minute detail of like
Yeah.
what's
How to
involved,
exonerate
how to
someone.
exonerate someone.
Yeah.
What's the latest research on shaken baby syndrome? Like all of that
Right.
kind of
Yes,
stuff.
yes. Handwriting analysis, all
Right.
these debunked
Yeah,
things. That,
Exactly. Which again, like recently my prosecutor sent me a handwriting analysis thing and I was like, why are you doing
Oh my
that? Why are you-"
God.
Anyway,
Yeah.
anyway, but there's also all of these exonerated people. So people who have spent time in prison for something they didn't do.
Yeah.
The vast majority of them are men,
yeah.
Mhm.
because again, like
And
men,
black men,
yes.
disproportionately.
Yes,
Yeah.
very disproportionately. Also Latino men disproportionately. So
Let's
it
say
works.
non-white folks
Yes, yeah.
disproportionately.
I mean, and to say that there are white folks there,
Yeah.
but like
Yeah.
disproportionately, we're talking about people of color.
Yeah.
And so it's men who have spent way longer in prison than I have
Mhm.
because the appeals process here in the United States is so incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
In Italy, it's actually easier to appeal.
Ah.
So I spent 4 years in prison. I've met people who have spent 40.
Yeah.
Like that's the scenario I'm
Yeah.
suddenly in that I had no idea existed.
Yeah.
And I'm connecting with people who immediately reassure me that I don't have to explain anything to them. That there is not this like barrier between me and them. I'm me who feels like it is my, I'm doomed to have to explain myself
Yeah.
to other people for the rest of my life. They're
Yeah.
like, no, girl, like
we
we
get
know.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
We know.
That's so
Well,
good.
someone there says to you, thank God you were wrongly incarcerated.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
So
'cause-
here all these, again, all these like men
Yep.
who go kind of unrecognized in the world, like no one gives a crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't believe that wrongful convictions are really a thing. A lot of people to this day look at people who are exonerated by DNA and they go, they're really guilty. There just must be some other explanation for why the DNA of this other rapist was in this crime. They probably committed together even though they don't know each other. Like there are people who like find
Yeah.
reasons to like still think these people who are demonstrably innocent are actually guilty.
Yes.
And so there's this like resistance to believing that wrongful convictions are a thing.
Yeah, again, because if
'Cause it
they're a
scares
thing,
us.
it could be me. Two things. If it could be me, and that means those people, there's still killers out there. If
Mhm.
those people aren't innocent, where's the killer?
Yep.
That's too scary. So it must be that
Yep.
they did it.
Yeah.
And then they're like, and then you came along. The little white girl who's college educated and had
Yeah.
everything going for her. You get wrongly convicted. And suddenly people are like, oh,
It really could happen to anyone.
it really could happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of them are also like, and here, here we are, these big tough guys,
Yeah.
like
yeah.
in prison who are like
Yeah.
struggling. And then we see you, this little white girl in prison. And we think, if she can get through this, I better be able to get through
that's
this.
nice.
So
Yeah.
I
Oh,
connect with
man.
them on this like deep human level. And I
Yeah.
come away feeling like, oh my God, I'm not alone. And this is way bigger than me.
Yeah.
and I start to feel purposeful again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that purposefulness leads me to make a very unorthodox choice, which is to go and talk to my prosecutor face to face and figure it out.
I love this. I saw an interview where you said, I want to be incredibly clear. I was not in search of forgiveness. I was in search of comprehension, understanding how this happened. I must know how this person, who I'll grant isn't an evil person, how this happened between us.
Yeah. Like if I assume that this person had no intention to throw an innocent girl in jail,
Right.
Yeah.
well, something went wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to understand what that is.
Yeah.
And so I reach out to him. And initially he's like, why are you trying to talk to me? That's like no one's ever, like in the history of histories, like no defendant has ever attempted to contact their prosecutor after the fact. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even know if this is legal.
Right.
And so he went through this whole like, what do I do?
Yeah.
And eventually he agreed to communicate with me. But then the pandemic happens. And so I can't actually see him face to face, but I've already established contact.
Is this via writing, email, or talking on the phone?
So at first it was writing a letter, and it was delivered by my friend from prison, the priest, who also happened to know my prosecutor very well. He plays a big role in the show. And you know, it's really, we had a very beautiful relationship because again, like here I am, the godless heathen, and here he is, my best friend in the prison, the Catholic priest.
Yeah.
And we bond over music and we bond over philosophy, and he's just a good person. Like
He was in prison?
yeah, so he's the priest who is
He's the
assigned
okay, got
to
it.
the prison.
I didn't
Yeah.
know if he was in prison. and also happened to be a Catholic priest.
He was the spiritual advisor of
got
the
it.
prison.
Which at first you're like, I'm good.
Yeah. At first
yeah.
I'm
Of
like,
course.
you can't help me. Like,
Yeah,
are
yeah.
you going to tell me that God put me in prison for a reason? Nuh-uh.
Yeah,
Not
exactly.
having that.
Yeah.
But like, he's the kind of guy who cries at the end of Kung Fu Panda. Like, that's my kind of guy. That's. And so we connected on this human level, and he delivered this first letter to my prosecutor. And after that, it took a while of convincing, but eventually he responded, and we started a email correspondence. And in reality, that took place over years while the pandemic was going on. But then ultimately it led to, as soon as it was safe to travel, I booked a ticket to Italy.
Yeah.
And I went and I told my family about this, and they were all in opposition, understandably. I told all my like exoneree friends about this, and they were like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, you know, and they understood more because they were like, I know that you just want to hear from the person who hurt you, that they acknowledge that they hurt you and that they're sorry that they hurt you. But like all of them were like, but that's not what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like you are going there to be
Further frustrated.
further traumatized.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Like just don't.
Yeah.
Like it's not worth it.
Yeah, that's
not worth
sage
it.
advice. It's not like
Yeah.
that's crazy advice.
And they were right in a big way. Like if I went to Italy to get something from my prosecutor, I was doomed to fail.
Yeah.
Because there is no, like, it would take a Herculean effort for my prosecutor to like come out of his own perspective and really truly recognize the harm that he had caused.
Yeah.
Because like in his mind, and you know, justifiably so, he's like, I was just doing my job.
Right.
And I believed in what I was doing. And so, you know, like,
Again,
Yeah.
both people, this is again this weird parallel between you guys, which is he too has to question how great his grasp is on reality. How much can he trust himself?
right.
So it's just so crazy that like the victim and the, you know,
Yeah.
could be having similar kind of confronting similar things.
Yeah. And like, I don't want to like give it away because it's really beautifully depicted in the show,
Yeah.
but like how my prosecutor is, you know, on the one hand, you know, digging in his heels and being defensive. And on the other hand, is evolving in his understanding merely by the fact that like the person he thought he was prosecuting would not have done what I just did.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so he's like, how do I make sense of this? And he finds himself in conflict with himself for
Yeah.
like maybe the first time in his life.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's not an easy process. So like
Yeah.
one thing that KJ talks about when she was like, how do I describe like what is happening in this show and like what happened in real life? And she talks about it. She calls it the anatomy of bias, that like these were people who convinced themselves of the story at the same time that they were trying to convince other people. Like it was a feedback loop.
Yes.
That like, and it, you know, it's called confirmation bias, and it's called like, there are lots of things like anchoring bias. Like again, that decision to say the break-in was staged.
Yeah.
That is an anchoring bias. That means that my anchor for interpreting reality is this, which I'm recognizing as a fact, even though it's an opinion.
The foundation is faulty.
If your foundation is faulty, then of course your whole thing is a house of cards, even if it is logically pieced together.
Right. Exactly.
So that it's more complicated than like a bad guy who doesn't care if there's an innocent person in prison. He's not a bad guy who just doesn't care if there's an innocent person in prison.
Yes.
He's a guy who is acting logically and believes that he is acting with integrity. So how could it be also true that he was so wrong?
Right.
Oh, yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
It's so complicated.
It's so complicated.
yeah.
And thank you. Like, it's really, I think that's a really important message that I want to get across is like, we are all human. And like, sometimes we encounter each other and there's a perfect fucking storm.
Yes.
And like, we should recognize that it didn't just happen in Perugia, Italy in 2007. Like that happens all the time, every day. And what kind of perfect storms are we participating in or inciting?
And how
or
do we
witnessing?
interrupt those?
How do we interrupt that?
Yeah.
What do we do to like stop the boulder from rolling down the hill?
Yeah.
What do you do?
Yeah, I love that you went and saw him. I love that you have found your, you know, some empathy for him and some level of compassion and then accidentally some forgiveness probably.
Yeah. Well, so here's the thing. When you see someone who's struggling,
Yes.
like you feel for them. I was not watching this person struggling in front of me and thinking,
Yeah,
ha, ha,
motherfucker.
ha. Yeah, no, that was not
You know why? Because you're not a murderer.
right.
Yeah,
Well, you know,
once
like
again.
I was like, oh my God. And I told you before, like there was a one moment in my life where I felt like unbeatable and unstoppable.
Yeah.
It was in that moment where I was like, oh my God, I thought he had all this power over me. And that's not, I have all this power over him.
Yeah.
And what am I going to do with it? And I knew in that moment that like the way that I was holding him was with care, right? Like I was not holding this person who was struggling and using his weakness to crush him.
Yeah.
Like that's not who I am. I saw him and I was like, oh my God, here's this fragile bird. How do I hold him gently?
Yeah.
Something you
What
weren't
a
really
fucking-
given the grace of.
I mean, it's in the rearview mirror to some degree. I don't want to be insensitive, but do you think if not now, if you're not already there, do you see somehow that you will go, oh, wow, I was kind of perfectly built for this situation and I'm going to make a lot out of this situation and maybe it happened to the right person? I mean, can you have that perspective?
I definitely have had the thought, like, thank God this didn't happen to any of my sisters.
Mm-hmm.
Like, thank God it happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
And like, weirdly, I discovered, you know, you're right. Like, and this is where it gets so interesting is when my priest friend would say something like, you know, God has a plan and everything is for the best, I'd always be like, fuck that.
Yeah, exactly.
But then he told me, if you pray to God for strength, God doesn't give you strength. He gives you the opportunity to be strong. And I was like, oh my God. I don't know anything about anything. Like there's so much that we don't know. But like, I do know that there have been moments in my life where I have felt completely in tune with the universe. And I would not have come to that place had I not had everything happen to me before it.
Yeah.
And that leaves me feeling eerie.
Yeah.
That leaves me feeling spiritual. And so
course.
like, I do a lot of meditating now, which is my form of spirituality. It's like just being super present in the present moment and just noticing the feelings, noticing the thoughts, observing, and then realizing that like, whatever the fuck is going on, like, you're okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't have come to that place if that weren't for all of the things that came before it.
I am curious. I have two last curiosities. One is, what about nightmares?
Yes, I've had nightmares, and I do get triggered by things. And to this day, I feel really uncomfortable in crowds and all of that. But like, I'm less concerned about that than the more pressing concern. The thing that really bothers me that I still haven't figured out. And I'd be curious to know if you guys have any insight into this whatsoever, because I really don't know how to carry it.
Yeah.
Is the fact that like, because I'm known for my roommate's death, in a weird way, I feel like I'm carrying not just my own legacy with me, but also hers. And I always feel like, you know, for better or for worse, like I'm being compared to her.
Oh, and you're linked to her.
I'm linked to her.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily a bad thing, because like she was a really nice person and she was really sweet to me and we had, you know, great times together. But like, I'm not even, you know, I have to go through years of like trauma and just to reach my memories of her. And like to this day, I know that some people will watch this show and go, you're not the real victim. You know, your roommate was.
This is you said it, I wrote it down, the single victim narrative, or what?
Yeah, the single victim fallacy.
Yeah, your mom's a victim, your parents are victims, you're a
Raphael
victim.
is a victim.
Yeah,
so many people are victims in the story, and you want to like honor all of that, and you want to grieve all of that. And at the same time, I'm only one person, and I have my own story.
You have enough to carry on your own.
And I have a lot, you know, that's a lot to carry, but I'm also like, I also get it.
Can I ask you, would you be having this tension in the absence of people actually sending you messages saying, you know who couldn't get married today, Meredith.
Right.
You know who can't have a baby today, which has happened to her a bunch of times. Paparazzi photographed her wedding when she tried to keep secret, and people were like, you know who can't have a wedding, Meredith. So how much of it is driven by your own sense of that, and how much do you think is driven externally?
You know, that's a really good question.
Because I can give you the tip that I've been famous for 30 years has taught me, or 23 years, whatever, is simply I regularly have to go, wait, hold on a second. Does anyone in my real life that knows me think that? If anyone that knows me has that opinion, I got some self-reflection to do.
Sure. Yeah.
But if I can't find a single person who knows me who has this opinion, there's no work for me to do.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Fair. No one that I know thinks that. However, I think what I maybe am grappling with, and it's like aggravated by the fact that stuff like that gets thrown at me, is survivor's guilt.
Yeah,
Yes,
right,
of course.
right.
Like there's no reason why, you know, two young girls go to study abroad and only one of them should get to go home. Like that, like there's no sense. There's nothing good about that.
Right.
Like what good thing can you get out of that except, you know, be grateful for life because it is so precious and can be taken away from you in an instant.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's sort of the big takeaway I get.
Yeah.
But like, I still, you know, have that sort of survivor's guilt feeling that comes from within, but is also deeply imposed from without.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I think, let's say you weren't accused, you didn't go to jail, whatever. You just experienced this. Your roommate was killed.
Right.
In your study abroad. Forget the rest, right? Like, I'm probably gonna get in trouble for saying this, but this is what would happen if this happened to me, right? Like, I'd go home, I'd be so sad that happened. For the rest of my life, it'd be like, this horrible thing happened. But I'm not responsible for carrying the story of it, her life, her legacy, anything. I just get to have my feeling about it and move on. You don't. You have so much publicly and personally to hold in regards to her that no one else in this situation would with regular trauma, you know? And so that is fair for you to be like, I wish I could put this down. Like, I don't know how to tell you how to do that because no one else, I don't know. Maybe
the
Monica
closest
could help you more than, you know?
The closest I've come to it was how we portrayed her in this show, because like one of the things that was really important to me was, again, to like make her a real person again, not this like stereotype about an uptight British girl that was in the public imagination for so long, and like grieve her. Like part of art and the beauty of art is that it's a way to process your emotions. And like I found like one of the big just takeaways for me from working on this project and, you know, co-writing the final episode with KJ and all of that was like, this is my opportunity to grieve through art.
Okay, the one thing that I'm wondering how it's impacted your life is, so here's what's really bizarre about fame, I think, in my own experience, which is the amazing part about it is it confirms you exist.
That is true. Either this is the Matrix made just for me, or yes.
Yes, like I think what is fascinating about being famous is we all have this kind of weird fear that we don't exist, or we're not important, or we're not real, or we're not impacting, you know, that we're pointless.
Yeah.
And the mere fact of many strangers knowing you confirms you exist. Like, of all the things it does, that is one of the things it does. Like, wow, I really exist. Like, all these people know me.
It confirms that a version of you exists in the public imagination.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. But here's my own experience with it. Like, here's what's so complicated about fame, which is like, I wanted it. I got it. It was uncomfortable for me. And then mostly I wanted to go back to being able to just watch other people at restaurants. And then also I'm walking through the airport one day in Detroit and not one person looks at me, which I'm used to. And then I have this weird panic of like, oh, maybe I don't exist anymore. And I just have to be honest, like what a weird relationship I have with this. It's like I wanted it, then I don't know that I enjoyed it. And then I'm also now afraid it's going to go away because I'll not exist anymore.
Yeah.
But you wanted it. That's such a different, that's a huge
everyone
difference.
wants to know that they exist.
Sure.
That's why I'm
they want
specifically
validation.
Is very different. Is wanting a lot of people to know you exist, wanting people, strangers to know you exist. That's fame. That's different.
Right.
You were thrust into fame. You didn't choose it. You didn't, as far as I know, want it. Maybe you did. I don't know. Maybe you wanted to be an actor.
That wasn't the plan.
Right.
You weren't pursuing any kind
No,
of
I was
performing
not
arts.
pursuing
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
So you didn't go through the ride of like, oh, I want to be like validated and appreciated and known by strangers. And then like, oh, actually, it's not that fun to be appreciated by strangers. Like, it wasn't that.
But I will push back. Certainly there are people that came out to become Kim Kardashian.
Sure. Yeah. And yeah.
So I think there's this huge spectrum of like, I do think I wanted fame to know I existed. I think it's okay to be sympathetic to the desire of fame, because I think what really is under the desire for fame is the desire of like, I do exist.
I think that's right, but I don't think it applies. I guess is my
Well,
point.
no, but I think he's making an interesting connection here now, which is like, well, now that I am,
now
You
you're
fully
here
exist.
How
And it's been brutal.
do I hold that?
Yes,
Yeah, like-
yes. And like,
Yeah.
can you have that same bizarre relationship I have where it's somehow also scary to be completely anonymous again, even though that's what you would want?
Yeah. There's multi-part answer to your question. So one, the very quick part is I did get the worst of the fame thing out of the way first.
Yeah, you didn't get any free jeans like I did, or a great
No,
restaurant,
yeah.
a table at a restaurant.
So like now, weirdly, that I've gone through the most horrible parts of being famous, now that I'm known by strangers, I'm now weirdly experiencing like the nice parts about it.
Right.
where like someone will text me and say, hey, I didn't commit suicide today because I heard you on a podcast.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
oh,
Well, yeah.
like that's a good feeling.
Yeah.
That's an amazing feeling. This is human connection.
Yeah.
Like this is the thing that was taken from me that I never thought that I would get back. And now I'm getting it back in all these new and surprising ways.
Yeah.
And so that's good.
Yeah. You and Monica must, have so much shared experience in that way.
Surprisingly,
Lewinsky.
if you were to, you should bring her on.
Oh, I have.
You have. Okay,
we
great.
learned of
We've had
this
her on
months ago
twice.
when we had her on that she was producing this. And I said, well, you're the perfect person to approach her. Yeah.
Yeah. No doubt. She was the perfect, because I knew, like, how many people out there are like forging a path in precisely the way that I would need to be shown that there actually is even a path. Like she invented having to reclaim your own story and how to do it. And she's the one who's been like putting herself out there as the guinea pig so that it makes it easier for someone like me.
Yeah. She is a success story of coming back and reclaiming.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
like owning her shit
Yeah,
and taking the worst and making the most of it.
Yeah.
And
she's an incredible person.
She's so incredible. And she's been through some horrible shit.
Yes.
And I find her to be so inspiring. And the thing that she did for me was made me feel safe to do this.
Good.
Like I could actually know that. And then of course, like I got to meet all of the people that I would work with. I worked with Warren Littlefield on this.
I love him. He was producing something I wrote, and he's one of my favorite people ever.
He's so smart and like being mentored. Like it's not just like I'm a source. And so people are like, already just the fact that so like hundreds of people have worked on this show and have been striving so hard to get it right after so long was just like one of the most validating things. Like there's this acknowledgement that I have a valid perspective.
Yes.
And amazing.
Yeah.
But then on top of that, like here I am executive producing and I'm learning the ropes of the industry of storytelling.
Yeah.
And I
From
love
some
it.
champs.
Some the champs, the best of the best. And they're like taking care of me and guiding me and not feeling like not making me feel pushed aside at all, but like inviting me in.
Right.
Which was, I feel like, again, like I feel like I'm very lucky.
Yes.
And I know that that's not the typical way that you arrive at that place because you guys are in this industry, like it's fighting and scraping and, not getting the credit you deserve until you are in a position to demand the credit you deserve.
Yeah.
And that's tough. This is a tough industry.
I would say you didn't get the credit you deserved until you got the credit you deserved as well.
Fair.
So there's some
Fair enough.
similarities for
Fair
sure.
enough.
I loved it. It's a great show. For people who don't know, like Warren also produces Fargo and Handmaid's Tale. He's a beast. And everyone that worked on this, the actors are incredible.
The Italian actors also, like for the record, like Francesco Acquaroli, who plays my prosecutor, he's like a legend, but also like Giuseppe De Domenico, who plays Raffaele.
Yeah.
I got chills watching him play Raffaele. Like I never seen someone capture his spirit and like it's weird how good he is.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
You feel very bad. I felt very bad for him in this whole.
as you should.
Yeah.
Like
yes,
exactly.
yes. So, okay, everyone watch The Twisted Tale of Amanda Knox on Hulu and read Waiting to be Heard
Yeah.
if you love it, because you'll get all the more details. And then your newest book, Free, My Search for Meaning.
Yes.
I'm very grateful I got to meet you. I saw that doc years ago, and I very much wanted to meet you and just say, like, my God, you've been through a lot, and I admire you.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
It's really nice
You're
to
a
meet
strong
you both.
motherfucker.
Oh, also, a lot of my friends who love your show wanted me to just say thank you for
Oh.
doing
Oh,
your
that's
show.
nice.
Okay.
You guys are leaving a really lasting impact on people. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah, we're so privileged to have you. So everybody check out the show, read the book. I hope we get to talk to you again.
Yes.
I would love to.
Please come
Let's
back.
do it.
I sure hope there weren't any mistakes in that episode, but we'll find out when my mom, Mrs. Monica, comes in and tells us what was wrong. I don't know what to do. Should I present him with his hat and matching scarf on, or he also has a crown?
Oh,
You want to see him in the crown?
yeah.
Uh-oh. Are those mittens? Oh, my goodness. What do you like?
Both.
You like both?
I think he's gonna have to do an outfit change.
Okay. I'll start him in the crown.
Okay.
He deserves it. Okay. Hi.
Hi. We have something very cute
Our
happening.
most special boy got a new outfit from an armchair
Yeah.
who knits baby clothes on Etsy. How cute are these? If you had really put your baby in these little overalls.
I know.
Oh my God.
Yeah, someone sent Groot for the listener. Someone made Groot an incredible outfit, knit these beautiful green overalls.
And they're shorts overalls, whatever we call those.
I'll call it short-alls.
Short-alls.
Some really cute shoes.
Yeah, he's got nice shoes, a nice scarf,
Yeah.
a beautiful crown. But that's not all that came, Monica. He also should get chilly, which it is a little chilly in here. I like it cold. And take his crown off for 1 second. He has a beautiful matching hat, winter hat.
Winter hat.
And
beanie.
cute little gloves that they put, you know how they put these in kids' sleeves? They come out the end of their sleeves in the wintertime. Do you know that?
No, I didn't
Yeah,
know.
they attach them so the kids don't lose their little kids because they're idiots and they'll lose one of their gloves. You put this attaching string and they hang out the bottom of your coat and then you put them on when you need it. And, but I just, as happy as he is, I just want to say thanks about this gesture because Delta was so excited.
I mean, it's the sweetest thing.
He looks great.
Groot's shoe fell off.
Oh, okay. Well,
I want to tell people that obviously Groot was in Nashville.
yeah.
And when I went to Nashville, we went to dinner for Kristen's birthday and Groot came.
Mm-hmm.
And Delta packed Groot's dinner and brought it to the restaurant.
Of
and it was in like, a little lunchbox.
Yep.
And I, as the aunt, got to hold Groot for a lot of the dinner.
Yep.
And I was sort of in charge of feeding Groot his dinner.
Yeah.
Which had like cantaloupe and some, like crunchies.
She's a great mom. There's always going to be a protein, a vegetable, and a fruit.
Yeah, there's healthy foods in there. And I did have to look at Kristen and say, like,
are you supposed to make?
Yeah, are you supposed to eat some of this so it looks like,
Yeah.
You know how the rest of the sentence is.
I know. I don't even want to say it out loud.
I know, me
right?
either.
Me
but
either. Yeah, but I know what you're struggling with because I've been in this situation a few times.
Yeah, and then I didn't get a clear answer and I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, I don't know that anyone knows really, but I have found that she's not making it this. Oh God, I don't want to say this.
I know, but we have to.
I know, but it's fine if it's just there. Is what?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he
eats it. You might not notice how much has gone away, but he eats it on his own time. And
yeah, I put some to his mouth, and I assume he ate what he wanted to eat of what I put to his mouth.
And I don't want to trigger any food scarce people around the world, like. I do think if you're in a food scarce region, you find out how much food that dogs in America eat, and that like people have it delivered and it's freshly cooked and all that maybe it's a little,
It's a little upsetting.
And I just know this could potentially fall into the similar
it's
category.
Not
but
very
it's
much food.
He doesn't have a huge appetite.
Yeah. Well, trees, it's only the half that's a boy that needs a little bit of
little
food.
Sustenance.
Yeah. So then I put the food away in my purse when dinner time was over.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay. With the lid on.
Yeah, with the lid on.
Okay, you didn't dump.
I gotta get this out of here. And I just dumped it in my purse. No, I put the lid on. I put it in my purse. And this is very me. Like 4 days later, I realize I have not taken that food out and it's fresh food.
Yeah.
So it didn't smell good.
Immediate follow-up question would have been, so if I was in that situation, I'd be like, oh, fuck, I left that in there. It's sealed. But then I would go like, I bet it smells so gross. And then I'd have to smell it to see if I was right.
Oh, you could smell it.
You could smell it through the seal.
Like, well, no,
was it proper Tupperware?
It was Tupperware. But when I opened it to throw it away eventually.
It hit you.
I was like, yeah, this stinks and this is...
Were you already home or this is still back in Nashville?
No, it was,
okay,
it
you
was
didn't
like
go through
right the day I left.
Security.
No.
That'd been great if they pulled it out in the TSA line and they opened it and they were like, A, what a weird meal you've packed for yourself.
Yeah.
Also,
it's rotten.
You have an eating disorder. That's not enough food for a human. And you like it rotten. And then you'd have to go,
kinks.
I'm so sorry. This is for my friend Groot. And then they would have been like, okay, and now she's nuts on top of everything.
Especially if I started explaining, it's my friend Groot. He's half tree and half boy. So
okay.
it doesn't look like it's enough food for a human boy, but he's not a human boy. He's half human and half tree. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. I think you might be more comfortable on a train or a Greyhound to go to your destination. I think, no, we'd be much more comfortable if you went via train or
Okay, well, fuck you
Amtrak.
because I spent $3,000 on this plane.
Oh, you're rich.
Yeah, I am.
No wonder you have a half boy, half tree.
No wonder your brain is
No
disintegrated.
wonder you're insane.
You're not grounded to the earth. Anyway, Groot looks so happy in his hat. And he's happy with his granddad.
He started school.
Oh.
He said, because everyone's gone back to school.
Right.
As of this week. He's in school.
Okay.
And I said, what grade? And she said, they don't really do it
That way.
that way there.
Okay. And where's
And I
there?
sat his school.
In the bedroom?
No, he goes away during the day to school. And the school,
Where does he cover it?
I don't know.
Okay.
What I'm telling you is he goes to school and there's no grades. And it is for folks with different,
learning needs.
there we go.
Yeah.
Or physical needs, I guess he's what he's
Sure.
got. So yeah, he's in a great school though that he loves that doesn't have grades.
Great.
Yeah, because every time his age comes up, I get in a little bit of a circle because he ages differently and stuff.
course.
So it's hard for me to nail down exactly how old my grandson is,
Yeah.
which I guess is none of my business.
None of your business.
Take
Age
it
is
for
just
what it
a
is.
number.
Yeah,
Do you think that he is playing hooky right now, Ben? Why'd you just
that went wrong. Let's try it again. Didn't work
Don't
the first
try
time.
it again.
Fudge.
You just
I will get this
banged it
third.
on. Okay.
You get 3 strikes.
Okay, sure. You get to
I
do
got
it.
to make myself a little more physical.
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh, great.
Thank goodness.
Really good job.
Ugh,
For
I
the
almost-
listener, there was a
2
throwing
attempts
up of a mint to catch in the mouth.
to wow
and-
Monica.
Yeah, and the first one resulted in a head hit.
Reverse headbutt. Not a
Reverse
reverse
back.
back. A reverse headbutt. I would never reverse back with my grandson on my lap.
No, that would be really
Yeah,
inappropriate.
yeah.
Now, so is Groot like playing hooky today?
No, he's out of school. He gets out at this time.
Okay.
Enough about school. It's like where the food goes.
I know it. Like, look, people have these questions.
I know, and they're best not asked. Put it on the shelf. Is that what the saying is?
That is not how you feel about life.
Any
you are
other
not
thing.
someone who says don't ask questions.
Unless it's for my kids, and then I do everything.
Yeah, I don't
that
love
I don't
that.
do.
There's a lot of hypocrisy there. I kind of want to wear his crown, but I know it'll
It's
stretch.
too
But my head
tiny for
is
you.
small.
It is. It might fit you.
Maybe I could just do
Oh,
it
that
like
looks
that.
great.
Thanks.
That looks really good. It brings out the brown in your eyes.
The blue crown does. It is almost my birthday. Speaking of age is just a number and crowns.
You might need a crown.
Yeah, I might need a crown,
Yeah,
birthday
yeah.
crown. I'm getting excited for my birthday. Birthdays are tricky because I really get anxious about planning something.
But you do like a party.
I like the day feeling fun.
Yeah, yeah.
It doesn't necessarily have to be a party, but I just want my day I want it to be a good day. And sometimes that's lower key than others, but
You're planning a pool party at a hotel.
yeah, the Four Seasons, I can
Yeah.
say that.
Oh, you can.
It will be done by then. My party will be over. Molly
Oh.
did it for her birthday
Oh,
some years ago, and it was such a fun time.
Yes.
They got a cabana, and they just had people come by, and people hung out at the
you
pool
can order
and
some
played
snacks.
games, ordered snacks. So that's what we're going to do.
Just to reference a previous episode, this is where Shaq used to come and eat.
That's right.
That Amanda would wait on him and get that
Yes.
great tip.
Yep,
And
exactly.
he would eat that unconventional breakfast.
Fruit plate.
Fruit plate. Unexpected.
Maybe we should get one in his honor for my birthday. Are you coming?
Yes.
Okay,
I have.
great.
Well, unfortunately, we also have the back to school barbecue that day.
Yes.
So we will have to come on the beginning of it.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, yeah. I wish it were not the case that these two things overlap.
That's okay. It's no pressure. This is part of the anxiety.
Yeah.
I don't.
This is what prevents me from having a party.
Yes.
This little element right here.
Yes, I don't like the idea of people feeling pressure, but I also do want people there.
Yes.
And I want it to be low key, but I also want it to be festive.
And high key.
I want it to be low key, but very stressful.
Do you want to tell people about your shirt today?
Okay.
I was just looking. I was like, it is a really pretty shirt.
Thanks.
And then I remembered it was on
backwards.
backwards earlier today.
Mhm. So I'm
And we had a
wearing-
very hot guest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shockingly so.
Did you know he was that hot?
I have thought he's attractive when I see him in projects, but in person, there's really a rhythm and an energy and a playfulness and a fun vibe. I really liked him a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anywho, I didn't dress for him. I just dressed because I like to wear cute clothes. And I got this new shirt. I ordered it from Moda Operandi. And it's blue. It's really cute. It's knit, not unlike Groot's clothes. It's knit.
Right.
And it has black buttons going down what I thought was the front.
I thought it was a button-up sweater.
Me too.
Yeah.
And I did think, so I put it on and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't remember it having buttons.
Huh.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I put it on and the neck was really, really high.
Oh.
And I thought, that's interesting. But like, that's a look.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah.
So I wore it. I had a meeting in the morning. I was out and about.
I'm going to launch a crazy theory right now.
Okay.
Are you about to start your period?
I don't think so.
Oh, you're pregnant?
I don't think so.
Okay. It's not that time.
I don't think it's that time because, I mean, I can tell you.
You always know.
I do know.
Get your period calendar out.
I write it down.
I theorize this because Kristen took Delta to lunch yesterday after her first day of school, and she wore her pants backwards.
And she's about to start her period. She did say that. Sorry, I don't know if we're
Yeah. It's okay. People know
mean,
she has a period.
They should assume she has
She
one.
has a period.
Yeah, she's not menopausal yet.
No.
Okay.
Despite how much you guys want to be menopausal, she's not.
Okay, I started on Wednesday the 30th of July. So 1, 2, okay.
Did I just ruin your weekend?
Oh my God. If I get it on my birthday, I'll be pissed. Okay, hold on. 1, 2, 3. No, I'll start it on around the 27th. But starting tomorrow-ish, my PMS. So maybe my PMS has started and maybe that had to do with it.
I just think that'd be interesting. You guys usually have your period the same time.
Yeah.
And if you both are putting your clothes on backwards, I would say that's correlation. Of course, not causation, but we have something to investigate.
Okay. Yeah. I just thought it was a cool shirt that I don't know. And I was out and about and I wore it and it did kind of scratch my neck. But I was like, I guess this is the way it's supposed to be.
Right.
Then me and you are walking out to the garage. We're like 10 feet away and I feel something on my neck that feels weird. It's the tag. And I was like, the tag is in front.
That's a dumb place for the tag.
Why is the tag here? I feel bad because what I did chalk all this up to is that this brand I think is Japanese.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, the Japanese are doing a high neck. The Japanese are putting all these buttons.
Okay, now listen, I hate to bring this out of the vault and you shouldn't keep things in the vault. It's not healthy for a friendship. But I will say,
You have a vault.
when I said that if your dad did something very peculiar, I might assume this might be an Indian thing.
I understand.
Okay, so I just am relieved that you do it too.
Listen, I understand. I have a lot of clothing that is Japanese. I love clothing brands that are Japanese. There's a few I really love. Orally, some other ones.
Yeah.
Lady White
Honda,
Co.
Toyota.
Yes,
Yeah.
actually. Lady White Co. All these, whatever. And the clothes generally are very like minimal. They fit really well. They're beautifully constructed.
Now, I'm going to say something very dangerous.
Okay.
I'm a little shocked that the clothes from Japan are fitting you perfectly,
You're shocked?
given that you have an ample bosom. Yeah.
Okay, so that's interesting because
Like, I'd be shocked if the Japanese clothes fit me perfectly because I'm much taller than the mean average in Japan.
yeah, I don't know. It's working out
They
though.
fit perfect. Okay.
And I went into a store in New York and it was a Japanese clothing store. I tried on these pants and the man who worked there was like, you have to buy those pants. Like, you are the person that's supposed to wear these clothes.
Right.
Because I'm petite and
Yes.
whatever.
Well, that a lot of it makes a lot of sense.
The pants make sense.
And the shoulders and
Sure.
the length of the waist.
Yeah.
All the
right.
different measurements.
But you're just like surprised it's not super tight.
I'm shocked that you don't run into issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
so far, so good.
So far, so good.
Anywho.
I don't know. I'm looking directly at your eyes for the listener. But Rob told me that you were.
Yeah, he's always looking.
He's
He's a perf.
he's not even here. Rob, are you here?
I'm here.
Oh.
I wonder if the hot guest looked. Probably. I hope so. I want people to admire them.
Yeah, great. And he's, I don't want to give out, this would give too much away, but he's been married for 34 years.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's
like
about
a
as much as he
gift.
gets.
I'm giving a gift.
Yeah.
I'm very generous. Anywho, I do have great boobs. I'm just going to say that.
Well, you have artwork that says it.
Yeah.
My wife commissioned some for you. Yeah.
So anywho, I did chalk it up to like, oh, this is a really cool piece of clothing because it's Japanese and they make amazing clothes. So
But they put their tags right in the front.
yeah, I was
on
like,
your neck.
oh, maybe. And then as soon as it was all falling into place, and I was like, oh my God, it's on backwards. So I had to quickly change it.
Okay, I have a couple of updates.
Yeah.
Quick housekeeping.
Great.
So my post about Luke Combs,
Oh, yeah.
I said within the post he's going to join the ranks of Nicholas Holt, the young men I tried to have relationships that won't text me back.
Yeah.
I had forgotten, I guess he even brought up in the fact check last time, though, that I was waiting for him to text me and he never did. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I guess that was in there because I saw it in the comments. I don't remember saying that
I
part.
think you did. Yeah.
Point is that was my post. And I went to DMs and there was a DM from him. He's like, dude, and it was a screen grab. He's like, I sent you this and I never heard anything back. So he sent me right away when he left. He's like, oh, so this is so fun, totally, in opening the door to be buddies. And
That's
it was in
nice.
green, the bubble.
Huh.
I'm like, yeah, I never got that. It's in
Was it
green.
a text or a DM?
In the DM on Instagram, he sent a
screen
screen
grab.
grab of the text he had sent
Oh,
me.
weird.
But it was in green.
Yeah.
So it never got to me. So he tried. So to clear the thing, he tried. So then
Okay.
we had a lovely flurry of texts yesterday.
Okay. Well, can he post?
Well, I don't know. I
I would like that. That's helpful. This is a business.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
So I've been thinking a lot about the biz.
Okay, tell me about your thoughts on the business.
Um,
Tell me your business thoughts.
maybe this is because I'm about to start my period. Let's say this is why.
Yeah, your clothes are on backwards. You're having business thoughts.
I'd have a lot of peace if I knew there was a reason for this. I find myself generally, not to brag, but I find myself pretty at peace with things. Like, I don't think I'm very jealous. I'm happy. Like, I am very happy with my life and my day to day and everything. So I don't have a lot of jealousy because I'm privileged not to
you're
have
lucky.
to. I'm
Yeah.
really lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I've had a few moments of jealousy lately
I think I know where this
that
is
have been
going.
very interesting. I got a lot of DMs and messages,
Right.
of course, last
When?
week or 2 weeks ago, whenever, that when Taylor was going on Travis's podcast, New Heights.
Yes.
Huge podcast.
Yes.
Duh, she is going on that show. She 100% should go on that show. That's her boyfriend's podcast.
Of course.
And that's lovely. Like, it's all good and reasonable.
Yeah.
And yet, when I heard it, I did get so
Jealous?
jealous is the honest word.
Right.
Because really, I was like, no, like, she needs to come on this show.
Yeah.
This show is going to we're going to have a real conversation with her,
Yeah.
talk about things that are deep, but that maybe she doesn't always have the opportunity to talk about, and show some sides of her that people don't see. When I'm doing all this, I am aware that she doesn't want that.
Exactly.
And why should
She's not
she?
incentivized to.
No.
She doesn't want to. And everyone is delighted with it.
Oh, yeah.
Also, who knows what anyone wants to hear? Because they're super pumped to just hear whatever those
Yeah.
two. I think they're most excited to just see how they interact.
Exactly, which
Yeah.
is so fun.
Yeah.
Which I wasn't like, no, don't go on his.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
can you also please come on ours? Those are going to be very different conversations.
That's right.
But then I was like, well, yeah, no, of course not. Like, she's going to go on his show and they're going to, like, when we have Kristen on, like,
Yeah.
we're not going to put her in a weird position.
That's
She's
right.
the safest she'll be here.
We've talked about a lot of stuff that she's never going to talk about somewhere else.
because she's safe.
Yeah.
Like she knows if she says like, guys, we're not doing that, then
Yeah.
we'll just be like, yeah, obviously. Like it's obviously a much different situation when it's us two and her.
Yes.
Her best friend and her husband.
Yes.
And so obviously for Taylor, same situation. She's
Yeah.
with her brother-in-law and her
Yes.
boyfriend. And she's going to be able to dictate that conversation, which great. So I got upset, but then I was like, I mean, duh, like she's going to go on that show. That's fun. And like she gets to, great. Then there was a moment where I thought she was going on somebody else's show.
Right.
Too.
Yes, also.
And I got like enraged.
Right. You had a little moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not proud of the thoughts I had about it.
Sure.
Not about Taylor, but
Yeah.
about the other podcast
Yep.
that I thought she was going on.
Yeah.
And I was like, how could Tree let her do that? That is so crazy.
This is a mistake.
This is a mistake.
Yeah.
Why does this person get this credit? Like a lot was happening.
Right.
And then I had to walk myself back and like, what's
Yeah,
going on? You don't normally
You
feel
calmed
this
down,
way.
your
This
heart
is-
rate dropped,
Yeah.
your frontal lobe came online.
Yeah.
Then you did some self-reflection and exploration.
I did. And it was interesting though, because, and I talked about this on an interview recently. I said, and I think this is true, that me and you here have a very specific thing going on, which is that there's a man and a woman
Mm-hmm.
anchoring the whole thing.
Yeah.
That is not true for, in my opinion, any of the podcasts in our realm.
Yeah. I think
that's right.
I think we're the only ones, yeah.
I mean, somebody's going to comment that I'm wrong, and that's
Yeah,
probably great.
We could be wrong. I mean, if we're wrong, we're not meaning to be
No, I
offensive.
don't mean to be. We have shows where there's a female host and male hosts and combinations of those. Multiple female hosts, multiple male hosts, whatever.
Yeah.
But I do think we're significantly different in that it's both of us here offering two types of opinions and thoughts and things that I'm proud of. I'm proud that we have that.
Me too.
And so, in my head, I'm like, again, this is like jealousy. It bums me out when we don't get that recognition. When it's like, this is another male podcast or a male hosted podcast, which, whatever.
Oh, you're feeling like we're falling in between?
No, I like that we're in between.
Yeah. But I'm just, when are you feeling like when a potential guest is evaluating that they're going to pick either they want to go the male demo or they want to go the female demo?
I do.
And that we're a tweener.
Yeah. Like, I think there's like some smart PR moves to go into one of those two directions. So people are going on other shows. Every time it happens, it is a little like, that sucks.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm also saying I was sort of sitting with this, like, there's these categories of male podcasters and female podcasters.
Uh-huh.
And I think I'm not even going to talk about the show.
Yeah.
Fall through the cracks there. When they're pitting like the female podcasters against the male podcasters, we're in that category.
Which one?
The male podcasters.
Oh, I don't think so.
Well, I don't want to like be rude, but yes, like on Alex's documentary, when she's talking about all these male podcasts, you're mentioned.
But let's be ultra clear. I'm mentioned as someone who has an epic deal at that time. We're never mentioned in the manosphere. We're never mentioned in like male podcasts. We're not, it doesn't ever happen.
But I'm not mentioned there.
Yeah, that wouldn't have made the point they were making. Like, again, that's taking it quite personally.
Of course I'm going to take, that's my whole
Yeah.
point. Like, of course I'm going to take it personally.
Sure.
When in order for this narrative to be, there's some female podcasters that are huge and saying, look how big they are in comparison to these male podcasts. I'm dropped from the narrative, and that doesn't feel good.
Right.
So
I understand that.
Anyway, I was balancing a lot of those feelings. And I guess ultimately I was kind of like, at the end of the day, this is the job I want. This is the podcast I want to be on.
Yep.
These are the types of conversations I want to have. So here we are. Like, this is what it is. It's just, I mean, I know it might sound, maybe people don't like us talking about this, but if I was listening, I'd want to hear the way
We're
people
digesting all these
about the insanely tricky landscape of podcasting. Like,
Yeah.
we've been doing this for 7 years. A lot's changed. 7.5.
almost 8.
Almost 8 years. That's a long time, and a lot has changed. And
And ours has grown too. That's the amazing thing. That's also a huge gift to be grateful for. Is like ours has just grown. It's not smaller than it was 5 years ago when we had access.
Yeah.
It's just that some shows have gotten enormous.
Yeah. And I just think it's an interesting time for everyone. I want to give one compliment.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. To you. So in talking about this, like a podcast that's hosted with a man and a woman, that was a decision on your part.
Uh-huh.
Like for maybe some of the other ones that have that, like it was two probably equally established people coming together.
Yeah.
That was not the show. You were established and you decided that
I like you.
I could add something potentially.
And you're a great counterpart to
yes
debate.
That's a feminist move. That's an actually feminist action. Like, I'm bringing in a woman to be here and contribute a voice. There's all these other people who present themselves as so progressive and feminist, and their actions don't match it.
Yeah, sure.
So, I mean, it's the truth. And so I think because you have tattoos and talk about your motorcycles and fucking and this and that, like, you can be put in a category, but it's really like all the actions you've made are the most progressive ones.
Right now, we're a 50-50 team, aren't we? But yeah, we got you, Emma, Rob, and I. And I do like when we go out that it's equal in that. Yeah, I like that. Okay, I have one last thing before we do facts.
Great.
As the armchairs are so good at doing, they solved you remember my issue about 5A, 6A, 7A?
Yes.
Well, first of all, everyone was on your side. So just let's start there. No one could understand my frustration, that it felt very extraneous and didn't signify anything.
To you. You didn't like that.
Yeah. If they're all A, why are we including A? Well, there are B and C schools.
Oh, okay. So it is like batteries in the way my friend said.
It's more that like C is some increment, right? It's some multiple.
Okay.
So it's like a 5C is way less than a 1A.
Right.
And then a 5B is less than a 1A, but more than, you know what I'm saying? More than a 7C.
Okay.
So there are A, B, and C, which also coordinates with the 1, 2, 3, 4.
Got it.
Okay. So I feel much better. Now that I know there's B and C category.
So happy for you.
And thanks for everyone for correcting me.
Did anyone respond that you are supposed to write it with the letters in the amount of numbers?
Someone said that's not true. Yeah. Actually,
that you don't do that.
You do not write 5 A's. You write the number 5 and then the letter A.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, one person.
So we both took it on the chin.
Well, one person.
Okay.
So,
but I think they were
I'm
probably
not
right.
sure.
Sounds like they were right.
I'm really not sure. In my head, there's like flags hanging in the gym that had 5 A's.
Oh, really?
I think.
Oh, wow.
Anyway,
you have to go back to your high school
now
gym.
they would have to add more because it's 7A now.
Yeah. Well, and that's an argument for doing it that way, because you can always add A's without scrapping the original. But if you go from number 5 to letter A
New flag.
to 6, you need a whole new thing.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
All right, let's do some facts.
I'm going to steal a bite of something while you read the first fact.
Let's just wait. Why don't you just eat your food?
No.
Yeah.
I didn't take a bite.
You took so many.
No. Says who?
Eat your food.
I don't have any food.
Oh my God.
I'm wrongly accused. Why are you trying to Amanda Knox me?
Don't do that when you are actually guilty.
No,
That's
but
not
she
fair.
had a sense of humor about her situation.
But
so
she
I'm
wasn't
carrying
guilty.
that. Okay. I finished.
No, you didn't.
I did. I'm all done.
Eat your food.
As you ask your question, I'm going to swallow really quick. It's going to be a magic
Listen,
trick.
it
You love
doesn't-
magic.
No, listen to me. Listen to me.
Okay.
I don't want to pull this card. but I have to edit it and I'm going to see you chewing and I'm going to have to say, don't be on Dax while he's chewing and it's a thing and I don't want to do it. So can you just eat it? What kind of bar is it? It looks yummy. Blueberry.
It's an almond butter protein ball.
Do you want more? You can have more.
I don't want more, Monica. I had too much.
I'm so
I
full.
feel sick and I might puke.
Oh my God.
Puke.
Okay. Facts
Yes.
for Amanda.
Well, I just want to say one thing.
Say.
We have another Amanda coming up. She
This is
wrote a
Amanda
book.
Week.
It's Amanda Week. Other Amanda has some stories about these punk rockers who used to come into her coffee shop, and they were called the Pukes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was their like gang name.
Oh my God.
They're the Pukes.
Okay. Now, some facts. Obviously, not a lot of facts because very personal story. And the facts are known
They're known.
for the most part.
They were excruciatingly uncovered,
Yes.
unearthed over 8 years.
What a resilient woman. I wonder if I would just die.
Ah,
I have no idea how I would handle a situation like that.
yeah. It's almost insulting to like,
Assume anything.
yeah,
I
to
can't
her
assume
or
anything.
anyone else that's been through something like this. My prediction is like, I just have a terrible temperament for that situation.
I mean more like you're
The
in
recovery?
prison and you didn't do it, and then you're re-entered and everyone thinks you're a monster. People still think you did it even though you've been exonerate. Like fucked up.
Yeah.
It's funny. I was just watching something recently and there was a joke about her.
Oh, there was.
Uh-huh.
What was the joke? Is that the joke?
It was like she came up and it was like, did she kill someone?
Okay.
And I was like,
Eh,
yeah,
yeah.
I didn't like it.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't like all the jokes I see on TV.
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched a pilot of a show yesterday with Delta, half of it. Yeah, and there was like 3 or 4 kind of over the top making fun of real life
People.
actors and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I never love it. I never
No,
love it.
I don't like it either. I also finished Beast Games. We'll save that for next fact check.
Okay.
Okay. Halloween in Italy. In Italy, Halloween is a blend of American-style celebrations and traditional Italian holidays focused on the dead. Halloween is not a traditional Italian holiday, but it has become increasingly popular, especially among younger generations with influences from the U.S. Children may trick or treat at bars and restaurants, often in the town center rather than going door to door as in the US, and tend to dress up in scarier costumes like zombies and witches, while adults often don't participate in costume wearing.
Of course, people who wouldn't want to participate in Halloween? If you see it in a movie and you're in Italy, like, hell yeah, go door to door and get candy, free candy. I mean, it's a very easily sold holiday to somebody.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, hey, do you like candy? That's the first question. So you're, ciao, bello.
I'm not doing that.
Oh, you got to say,
Can I say it in English?
you say ciao.
Hi.
Oh, well, I guess I'll be the Italian.
Yeah, exactly.
Pronto.
Hi, do you like candy?
I love a candy.
Have you heard of
Do you have a
Halloween?
candy?
Yes.
Yeah.
But you have to come to my door and you have to say trick or treat and you have to wear a costume and I'll give it to you.
Oh, I love it. See how easy that pitch
yeah, it
was?
was really easy.
Yeah.
It was really, really easy. Okay, the interview rights versus interrogation rights. So police interviews. I mean, she went through this, but still. Purpose, to gather information and investigate potential criminal activity. Nature, typically non-accusatory and conversational. Location, can occur anywhere, including on the street or at the individual's homes. Miranda rights, generally Miranda rights are not read during a non-custodial interview. Consequences, statements made during an interview, even without Miranda warnings, can be used as evidence in court if the individual is not in custody. That, like, how is that legal? That's
I don't
the
get
whole
it.
point of Miranda rights.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm stressed out.
Now look, okay, I have to make a good faith argument,
Okay.
which is detectives in a murder trial have to talk to like 50 people, right?
Okay.
They gotta go talk to coworkers and all these different people. And to have a lawyer present at every one of those obviously would be a big logistical challenge. If every single person, the coworker, hey, did you guys ever get lunch together? That whole thing. If they've got to have lawyers present for all these kind of mundane. Now, what I think is clearly happens is they abuse this. But in concept, I understand they got to talk to a ton of people and it should be really surface. And then if 5 of those people seem like further questioning is warranted,
then you bring them in.
Then bring them in, read them their rights.
You shouldn't be able to, even in that, we're trying to figure out who to bring in, quote, interview, you shouldn't be able to use any of that in court.
I agree.
Now, police interrogations, purpose, to obtain a confession or incriminating statement from a suspect. Nature, more formal and can involve accusatory questioning, pressure, and psychological manipulation.
Why'd you kill her?
Exactly. Location, often occurs in a police station or other controlled environment. Miranda rights. If a person is in custody, detained, and subject to questioning, police are required to read Miranda warnings before any interrogation begins. Consequences, if Miranda rights are not read during a custodial interrogation, any statements made by the suspect may be inadmissible in court.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it is a workaround. It is a workaround they're trying to do.
It's abused.
Yeah. Okay, why handwriting analysis is unreliable. It lacks scientific validation for assessing personality traits or predicting job performance. Despite its historical use, research consistently shows that graphologists are no more accurate than chance when making such assessments, and their methods are often susceptible to the Barnum effect, where vague statements are interpreted as uniquely relevant. The Barnum effect, a psychological phenomenon where individuals believe that vague and general personality descriptions apply specifically to them, even though those descriptions could apply to a wide range of people.
This is my complaint against astrology.
Oh, sure.
Which is like, there's only 12 types. And so,
Exactly.
and somehow everyone feels,
that it's specifically them. Yeah, totally. Okay, yeah. It's essentially the tendency to accept generalized statements as uniquely descriptive of oneself. Cool. Well, that's it.
That's everything.
For the facts. And you are eating again.
No, I'm not.
You're going to continue to lie to my face?
Well,
You
I think
feel
it's so
okay about
obvious
that?
that I did that it's cute and funny. But
Okay.
I'm wrong in my assessment of how you would take it.
Right,
I
because, you
thought
know,
you would go, look at this boy. He's eating his cookies again. But you didn't. You're like, you're going to keep doing this?
Yeah, because
You're a bad person.
Yeah.
You're a bad father. You killed her.
I told you why I didn't want you to eat it, and then you ate it.
But I was quick and no one saw a thing.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Love you.